Princeton Vikings in a GMC battle, one of the most anticipated games coming into this season. This is Chris Amanitis with WeAreColerain.com, along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt and Mike Work here in the press box on a beautiful evening here in Sharonville. Is that where we are, Sharonville?
Yeah, I believe this is Sharonville, home of GE and the Sharonville Convention Center.
Absolutely. So we're very, very excited to be here tonight. There is a tremendous amount of interest and a tremendous amount of preseason pomp and circumstance surrounding this Princeton high school team, as they've brought in several, or they were the recipients of several very large name transfers, as I'm sure Brandon will get to at some point early here in our broadcast and talk about some of those names. But tonight, Colerain is all about continuing to build on what they did last week, Brian, in their 45-14 victory over Oak Hills. It was a very workmanlike effort against a team that I think we all knew Colerain would be able to handle. But talk a little bit about maybe what you saw last week from an offense putting up 45 points and the continued good work of the defense.
Well, last week was all about gaining confidence. It's really hard to tell what I saw from that because the level of competition really wasn't there. It's a confidence builder. I mean, those starters were out by halftime. Mm-hmm. But what you can work on there, the offense is all predicated on timing. And something like that, you're playing against a team that you don't see it. You know, you're practicing against your own guys, but when you're playing against another team you haven't seen, they do something a little bit different. So that's what we got to see. Colerain really taking it to them, but really not much of a test. But hopefully built a little confidence, which carries into this game right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon, take a minute. We talked a little bit about some of the big names that we're going to see tonight on the field for Princeton. Of course, Darian Henry, Paris Johnson Jr., Jaheim Thomas. There's a whole slate of them, and they were outlined, I think, in our preview today that was posted very early this morning. What kind of presence do those guys bring to a team, and how do they? I mean, you played with some very highly regarded prospects when you played. What does it do for a team when you have that kind of talent around you? Does it kind of raise the whole team up, or how does that play out? That was you.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You're the one that played with the regarded talent.
I mean, you don't really notice it, but it's everything else around. You as a player kind of just block it out. They're just your friend. They're your classmate. They're nothing different. It's the outside that you have to ignore. But we're going to have to take a pause for the national anthem.
Please remain standing as the color guard exits the field and continue standing for our Princeton alma mater.
That was the Princeton High School Marching Band playing our national anthem. They're going to continue to stand on the field, and they'll play the Princeton alma mater. But, Brandon, you talked about some of the really good players that
Please help me welcome to the field, Superintendent.
Sorry, we're taking a break here. They're pausing. I think they're going to go ahead and play their alma mater. We can, if you don't mind, we'll talk right through that. But let's talk about some of the names that we're going to see tonight. Let me grab real quick my preview here. Again, Princeton's had this game circled on their calendar for quite some time, as Colerain has won 19 consecutive GMC championships, and that ties Princeton's mark from 1967 to 1985. So Colerain has an opportunity this year to do something that no other team in the history of this conference has done, which is win 20 consecutive football championships, and it would be quite impressive to do it in a year where we get a chance to play Princeton and hopefully get a chance to beat them on their own field.
Yeah, Princeton, as you said, trying to stop that streak, and it's also Princeton trying to break the streak of losses to Colerain. The first year of the GMC was the last win these Princeton Vikings had against your Colerain Cardinals, and so they can actually stop 2 streaks and 2 records tonight.
That's a great call out, Brian. Colerain has won 15 in a row against Princeton by an average score of 42-15. Now, as I said in the preview that was posted very early this morning, that is more than likely not going to be the case tonight, as this defense for Princeton is very, very good. They are fast, they are talented, and the Colerain offense is still, I would call it a work in progress. Let's talk about, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's a big matchup. This game was penciled, as you said, not just on Princeton, but everybody's. This was the not just GMC battle, but the city battle. Colerain comes into it with 1 loss. Not a really unexpected loss to St. X, but a game last week that was really surprising. The Princeton Vikings lost to Sycamore at Sycamore. So we're not sure what they did for their confidence. Who knows? They could have Sycamore could have woke a sleeping giant. So we'll see what team shows up here tonight.
So let's real quickly do a review of those Princeton Vikings. Again, they come into play 2-1 tonight, 0-1 in the GMC. Their wins are over Milford in Week 1, 38-7. And over Withrow in Week 2, 42-0. And as Brian mentioned, they did lose last week against Sycamore, 13-16, and that was a kind of a last-minute end-of-game field goal by Sycamore to put them up top. Some of the offensive players that we're going to want to keep an eye on tonight, 2 of them are right behind the center at the quarterback position. We'll see which ones we get the most of. Probably the one we'll see first is number 8, Jaden Horton, who's a senior, 6'2", 200 pounds. And if you're used to hearing that name or you heard that name before, he's been at, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is his 3rd different high school in 3 years.
He was at LaSalle, Dakota West, and now he's at Princeton.
Yeah, so he's moved around quite a bit. The other quarterback is Dorian Durham, also a senior, 6'1", 170 pounds. In the backfield, we're going to be talking probably about number 15, James Price, a 5'7", 152-pound senior, so a little bit on the smaller, maybe scat back side. And on the edge, we're going to see number 1, Sterling Burkhalter, who's a 6'3", 165-pound senior wide receiver. He does not ever come off the field. He's on all the time. Also, number 21, D'Angelo Foster, who's a 5'7", 140-pound junior. And then also on the offensive line, of course, probably the biggest name on the offensive side of the ball is number 77, Paris Johnson Jr., who is a senior, 6'8", 290 pounds. He is a transfer from St. Xavier, and he is committed to the Ohio State University.
And also the number 1 rated offensive tackle, not just in the city, not just in the state, but the number 1 tackle in the country.
Yes, absolutely. He reminds you a little bit of, I think, a Jackson Carman-like in terms of his ability on the field to push people around when he's doing that. Defensively, we've got number 19, Darian Henry, who's a 6'5", 260-pound defensive lineman. That's 6'5", 260. He also is committed to the Ohio State University.
The number 1 defensive end in the state.
That could be. There you go. Number 24, Jaheim Thomas, who is 6'4", 220 pounds. He's committed to the University of Cincinnati, maybe one of the biggest recruits in UC history outside of the recently committed Evan Prater. So, again, 2 big names to keep an eye out tonight, Darian Henry and Jaheim Thomas on the defensive side of the ball. Also, John Harris, a 5'8", 182-pound junior linebacker. Kevin Suttles, a 6', 180-pound senior DB. Juan Jarrett, who kind of gets overlooked a little bit in this class, and he's got a full ride to University of Kansas at 6'2", 185 pounds as a DB, and also Elijah Eberhardt, who is a 5'10", 170-pound DB who's committed to Bowling Green. So again, this team is loaded with Division I talent and size and speed, and they're going to be a real interesting test for these Cardinals tonight.
And it'll really be interesting. We saw last year when these two matched, Henry and Thomas, the big 2 recruits of Princeton, Colerain attacked him just went right out. They let Henry be the defensive line read, let him run himself right out of the play every single time. They made Thomas the read, made him make a tackle in open space. Now, granted, we don't have Ivan Pace running the ball anymore, but that really was it. They didn't run away from him last week. In fact, last year, they really ran right at them.
Yeah, used their athleticism and let them rush past them and ran underneath them. Great observation, Brandon.
Offensively, for the Colerain Cardinals, we come into this game with a 2-1 record, 1-0 in the GMC. That is a 76-game GMC winning streak for your Colerain Cardinals. A win tonight would put them at 77 in a row, which would just continue to build on their dominance of this conference over the past decade plus. The Colerain Cardinals, of course, are 2-1, beating Wayne in Week 1 and Oak Hills last week, with their only blemish being against St. X at home a couple of weeks ago by the score of 21-14. Offensively, I think we have found our quarterback, gentlemen. Freddie Johnson, the junior, 5'11", 170 pounds, seems to have settled in at the position, and the offensive staff seems comfortable moving forward with him, potentially using Tyler Prather as more of a change of back pay quarterback as they go from game to game. MJ Flowers, the sophomore fullback, of course, 6'1", 185 as a sophomore. Hamza Abdul Wahid, the senior, at tailback running back. And, of course, the offensive line is anchored by Aish Ehrenschwender, the senior captain, 6 foot, 280 pounds. Defensively, of course, that's been the strength of the Cardinals so far this year. Again, led on the line by Donovan Owens, a 6'2", 230-pound senior. Dante Corleone, a 6'1", 285-pound junior. Linebacker Michael Bess, a 6'1", 245-pound junior. And then Elijah Ford, who's a 6'3", 215-pound linebacker, who is really kind of one of the unsung heroes of this team. And finally, Deshaun Pace, the senior captain, who's headed to the University of Cincinnati in the backfield at 6'3", 210 pounds.
Well, very interesting. We know the Cardinals are really the strength is their front seven and that anchor in the secondary with Deshaun Pace, but we did see late in the first, I wouldn't say late in the game, late in the first half, LT Johnson, that nose guard, has been a pivotal player up front for the Cardinals, kind of got rolled up. We'll see if he's 100% tonight.
Hey, I think this is where the game's going to be won or lost. You know, you've got that big defensive line and big offensive line of Princeton. That's where a lot of their talent is. Defensively, Colerain's defensive line can match up with anybody, but this offensive line, just one returning starter back, that's Ace Ehrenschwender. Some of the guys that are playing this year, Stegmuller and Jones, got a little bit of playing time, but it's going to be an offensive line kind of game that's going to have to do their job tonight.
Well, Cardinals won the toss and deferred. Take the option in the second half. And I think that'll play an even bigger part of this game. That's Cameron Ott's leg and the special teams. That's really what undid Princeton. Couple plays on special teams really blew the game open last year. Cardinals really relied on their special teams to create some field position, but really the difference in that X game was special teams. Both teams really failed to move the ball after moving it earlier in the game. So if Cardinals can pin Princeton here early, they can set the tone early.
Yeah, Princeton really dangerous in the return game. Not a lot of wind out there tonight. Just a little bit coming from one end zone. Perfect weather for this time of year. You know, we struggled last year. What we have, like 8 games that we had on a Friday nights all had some chance of rain. Not very little tonight. No excuse for the weather tonight.
So the aforementioned Cameron Ott is all set to kick off. The clock is set. There are no Princeton Vikings on the field, but the referee hasn't blown the whistle ready, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, and just a reminder, everybody, you will see the scoreboard tonight. By OSHA rules, we are not allowed to show you live game footage. But if you want to reach us in the booth, remember that's radio@wearecolerain.com. Let us know where you're watching, what year you graduated, or shout out to one of the players.
Early on, we got Lenny Lopez listening from Corona, California.
Always love to hear from our former players. You can, of course, catch us on Facebook at We Are Colerain, as well as on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Hit us up on all of those social media platforms. We'd love to have your followers and your likes, and appreciate you tuning in to tonight's broadcast. This is a big game, and one that the Cardinals are going to have to play at a very high level in order to come away with a victory.
Leroy Bowers and D'Angelo Foster back deep for the Vikings.
Cameron Ott gets underneath it in his foot, and he pushes it high into the air. It's going to be caught at about the 15-yard line. It bounces once. Good pursuit by the Colerain defense, and they immediately bring him down just outside the 15-yard line. We'll call it first down and 10 for the Vikings at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, interesting placement on that. He did it perfectly, almost like he took a 9-iron, popped it up, and found a little space. Princeton Vikings got a good bounce there at about the 15, but because it took so long for him to get to the ball, the pursuit by the cover team was there. Only about a 3 to 4 yard return.
Levert Jarman was the first one there for the Cardinals.
So Vikings going to set up first down about their own 18.
Yep, so Jaden Horton is the quarterback in for the Princeton Vikings, and he drops back in the shotgun. Here's a pass out wide to start it off. He's going to try and stiff arm a player. He's going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on that first play.
Man, it's kind of interesting here. The really complaint for the Vikings offensive, they've been kind of predictable in there with Horton. Horton, the superior athlete at quarterback, but Durham's been the better thrower all year. So we'll see who establishes himself tonight for the Vikings.
So 2nd down and 6 to go for the Vikings.
Yeah, they've gone 4 wide, shotgun formation.
Yep, ball in the 21-yard line. Look like there was some early movement there, but pass is intended out to, and it's hard to read these numbers
10.
with the binocs.
Jamar Matthews out there. And
8. Number 8 was the intended receiver.
Yeah, number 8 was, I think,
Wow,
the intended
I'm
receiver.
sorry, I read it
No,
as
it's
10.
okay. Those are hard to read. The pass falls incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down and 6, ball on the 21-yard line.
10 was there, but he was blocking. 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings. A big 3rd down here for the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, they've got those kind of, what are those silver, kind of silver gray numbers on a red. Pewter is a good way. There you go. So once again, Horton in the backfield by himself, passes it across the middle, and it is incomplete, and it will be 4th down. So the Colerain Cardinals are going to force a punt here on the very first series for the Princeton Vikings. Couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, just a quick slant right there in front of Mike Best. Matthews is open. He's probably got for the 1st down, but the pass sails high, incomplete. Cardinals do what we said they needed to do. Trap them deep, play field position, and set themselves up here early.
That sets up Beavers right about midfield.
Sets up Pace. Beavers graduated
right.
4 years. In fact, Beavers is a graduate transfer to UC.
There's Brian Beavers.
Oh, there is another Beavers. That's right.
He's 23. That's number 3.
Tamir Matthews going to take it about his own 7.
He's got it. Gets his foot underneath it. It is a very short punt. Fair caught by Deshaun Pace at the 49-yard line of the Princeton Vikings.
That's a very slow snap and kick.
I saw the same thing.
I got to think the Cardinals might try to come after one of those tonight.
The punter is listed as a tight end linebacker, 5'8", 235, but with that slow snap, if Colerain wants to put a little pressure on him.
And the Cardinals have their own experiences. It was not necessarily on the punter when they got blocked by St. X. It was not a bad snap, just a slow snap that allowed the X defense to get our special teams to make the block.
So Freddie Johnson under center, Colerain in the T formation or wishbone formation.
MJ Flowers right behind him. Shannon Murray and Hamza Abdul Wahid are your 2 wingbacks. Shannon Murray, our WeAreColerain.com player of the game last week.
Fullback.
Murray in motion. There's the handoff to the fullback. MJ Flowers takes it. He pushes the pile forward. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play.
Stripped loose. That's on the ground, kind of a late whistle.
They're going to have to pull this pile apart because these players are fighting for that ball. Princeton is signaling they have it. The referees are blowing the whistle. 6 was convinced from Princeton that they have it, and it looks like they do. So on the very first play of the offensive side, Colerain does exactly what they cannot do, and that's turn the ball over and give Princeton the ball almost at midfield.
Now the sophomore trying for extra yards, just kind of pushing the pile, and it's tough. Well, your referee's got to give him time to maybe gain a few more yards, but Princeton strips the ball out as he's struggling. So Princeton's going to take over at their own 47.
19's a big boy. I'm not going to lie to you. He's a big, big man.
That's Darian Henry.
Yes.
The Cardinals ran right at him last year, and they just let him be the guy that ran himself out of the play every time. But so we'll see what Tyler Williams does with his offenses.
1st down and 10 once again, but Jaden Horton drops back, looks to pass, doesn't find any room, decides to take it and run and throw it deep down the middle of the field. It is caught by number 37 and taken into the end zone for a touchdown. The Colerain defense was there and couldn't quite knock it down. And the Vikings, with one pass, have put 6 points on the board.
Yeah, Rodney Harris just on a jump ball right there. He was well covered, but he's listed at 6'2" against a 5'9" defensive back, and he just won the battle for the ball.
And that was Devontae Kiner in coverage, a 5'8", 160-pound junior.
He had great coverage. He was just out muscled for the ball.
That's exactly what
happened.
happened.
A throw and a hope.
Yep.
What is Jeff Ruby wearing? Sorry, totally distracted.
Yeah.
Jeff has got his safari look this evening.
He does. He's got a safari look. That's exactly what I would call with that. So, extra point pending.
Snap is back. Kick is blocked. And no good at the 11:07 mark of the first quarter. It's the Princeton Vikings 6, Colerain Cardinals 0.
That was the first. That was the second missed extra point for the Princeton Vikings this year. So generally been pretty good. I think 11 of 12 on the season. So
yeah, that wasn't much of a miss as Colerain got great penetration up the middle, and I'm not sure who got it. It looked like it was number 10 from Colerain. Got right up the middle, but there's 3 guys there who could have blocked it. So Princeton Viking get the first turnover, the first touchdown. So we're at the 11:07 mark in this first quarter.
It's like an echo.
I have often thought that myself.
Jalen Thomas and Sean Williamson back deep for the Cardinals.
Credit on that last play again. Credit the Princeton wide receiver again.
That was all Rodney Harris. I mean,
yeah, he muscled it.
It was an underthrown ball. It was a jump ball, and he was just taller.
Well, he also kept his. I mean, Kiner had body position on him.
He did.
He had the strength. He almost reached over Kiner and ripped it up into his own hands.
That's exactly what he did.
So cannot see the number of the kicker.
Gets his foot underneath it, and it's a kick high in the air, and it's going to drop and go out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. So that'll be what is that officially, a legal procedure?
It is a legal procedure.
Make him kick it again.
That does not, I don't think that rule exists anymore.
Oh, he has to go out to the 35?
I think so. Yes.
I believe so. I think you can just make them re-kick it. Like, I can't remember exactly. I know the rule changed because it used to be, and teams would just, if you knew the other team didn't have a kicker, you just kept going 5 yards back, 5 yards back, 5 yards back.
But, yeah, they didn't even look to the sideline, so you might be correct with that rule. So Colerain sets it up on the far right hash. Interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Well, they're not in the middle of the field.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So once again now, man in motion. That's Hamd Abdul-Wahid. Ball's once again on the ground. Freddie Johnson falls on top of it. It's going to be a loss of a yard. And 2 plays for the Cardinals, and 2 times they put the ball on the turf.
Yeah, switch up on the fullback position. Ronald Williams Jr., we saw play fullback last week for the Cardinals, and now in at fullback for the Cardinals. A little fumble in the exchange, and I don't know if a Princeton hand got there in with Freddie Johnson or Freddie Johnson just lost control, but he just falls on top. Cardinals lose a yard.
Yeah, it looked like Freddie just tried to pull it out of the mesh and caught the elbow of the fullback with the football.
So once again, under center. There's the handoff to Hamd Abdul-Wahid. He takes it up across over the 35-yard line, gets back the original yardage. Princeton is yelling for the ball again, saying that.
And they're going to do, I think that's going to, I mean, I don't blame them. You do it, it
absolutely
works. They're just going to rip the ball after and try to call a fumble every time.
So ball taken out to the 36-yard line, where it now will be 3rd down and 9. Expect the Cardinals, I would think, to try and go wide here. See if they can get Murray in open space. Freddie Johnson under center.
Got a good matchup up top with the sophomore wide receiver with the smaller defensive back, one-on-one.
Freddie's left-handed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he'd have to throw across his body to go in that way. Draws back, looks to pass, pitches it out to Shannon Murray, who's got it. Makes a couple guys miss, gets out past the 40. He's going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th down for the Cardinals, and on comes the punting unit.
John Harris, 4th down for the Cardinals.
I tell you, that is an NFL size on the defensive line.
Oh, it's
Josh
ridiculous.
Younger, 6 foot.
Snap
tall.
it right now. Nope, no, they're not going to do it. Could have got 12-man field. Oh, well.
We weren't ready.
Yeah, we weren't ready. Lawson Sandusky back to receive the punt for the Cardinals.
Princeton certainly sends it. Lawson with a low line drive kick over the head of the intended returner, and he just stays away from it. It's going to bounce all the way down to the 5-yard line. Great punt by Lawson Sandusky, and great coverage by the punt return team.
And I think Lawson probably got lucky there that the returner for the Vikings is only 5'7".
Yeah.
That's D'Angelo Foster. If it's Leroy Bowers, who's 6'2", he probably catches
that
it
on the line.
and on the line drive has got some room to run.
So Princeton in the shadows of their own end zone. The ball going to be spotted at the 5. Again, Colerain's defense looking to play man-to-man again. I got to do something. 3 Vikings
The 3 Vikings split out wide right and then 2 to the top. Empty backfield.
Okay, they roll a safety over.
This is the way that they want to play. Horton's going to take it and try and run right up the middle, and he's going to get tackled immediately by Jalen Thomas.
Yeah, Jalen Thomas stops him at 3, just a simple quarterback draw, trying to give him a little bit of space away from that end zone, but that was a big tackle on the quarterback.
He pick up about 2 yards on that run?
2.5, 3, somewhere in that range.
Quarterback keep, so 2nd down and 7 on the scoreboard. Ball again deep in Princeton territory. Colerain trailing 6-0. Looking to get a stop here and flip field position. Snap is back. Horton. The ball's coming out of his hands quickly. It's over the intended target's head.
And I guess it wasn't offsides. Just half of the Princeton offense didn't move there.
Just a quick snap, quick throw out to the wide receiver, trying to get their athletes in space. That's almost a long handoff when you're doing it.
It almost looked like half of the offensive line jumped, but it's just because the other side of the offense didn't move at all.
Interesting.
So I'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
5 wide.
Once again, 5 wide.
Trips to the boundary. To the wide side.
Yep. So once again, Horton's got it, and he's only holding the ball for just a couple of seconds. He's going to get wrapped up and taken down.
He just gets out of the end zone.
Yep, just got out of the end zone. So he's going to lose about 4 yards on that play. So the powerful defensive line of the Colerain Cardinals got around the big, strong offensive line of the Vikings. And
L.T. Johnson with the deck. And what I liked about that is they know Horton's a runner. L.T. Johnson kept leverage and forced him to step up. He wasn't going to let him run around the outside, forcing him to step up. He probably had a chance at a safety, but there's also a risk that Horton gets away and gets a big play, forces him inside where Dante Colerain, the rest of the defense can kind of stop him. L.T. Johnson finishes him off.
Yeah, it'd be interesting with the slow snap we saw last time. If Colerain puts a little bit of pressure here this time at Tamir Matthews, but usually when they're like this, you're setting up your return. So
Pace is sitting at his own 34-yard line.
There's a snap back, and there is pressure put on him.
That's returnable.
Yep, Deshaun Pace has got it. He's looking for a hole. He cuts it. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. Good pursuit by the Princeton Vikings, and he gets taken out of bounds at about the 23-yard line.
You might have been able to argue for an extra 5 yards there, but Cardinals will take it regardless. And again, you got to win take away the turnover. This is what the Cardinals wanted.
Exactly.
Trap Princeton deep, have a short field. Last time they gave that short field away.
Yep.
I was talking earlier, guys, about the this defensive front. Of course, you've got Darian Henry at 6'5", 260, but you also have Todd Harding at 6'2", 300, and Joshua Younger at 6 foot, 359 pounds.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You just run right by him.
Yeah, it's some real meat right in the middle of that line. All right, Freddie Johnson under center once again. Takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, and he is sacked for a loss. Trying to see who the number on that. That was Darian Henry, number 19, who came right through the offensive line and sacked Freddie Johnson for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bad read or a miss by the quarterback or a bad read by the offensive lineman assignment there, but that should not have been a 2-yard loss by the end of the play.
As a matter of fact, it's a 3-yard loss.
Yes.
So Cardinals need some positive yardage here. Have not picked up a first down yet. 7:44 to go here in the opening quarter. Down 6-0. Freddie Johnson looking to get something going here. Takes the ball. It's a counter to Shannon Murray, and he's almost tackled in the backfield. Makes several guys miss. Gets a big run. Unfortunately, there was a flag thrown on the play. So
it'll be interesting where it's at. There's a lot of flags, but it's in the area of holding.
Yeah.
Shannon Murray is stopped in the back.
They're calling an illegal chop block against the Cardinals, so that one's coming back. So there was a great move there by Shannon Murray getting through several defenders and taking it all the way into the end zone, but unfortunately the chop block is going to be a 10-yard penalty, and I think that's a spot foul.
I think it's 15.
Yeah, it is.
We'll find out.
So the Cardinals moving just completely the wrong way.
Well, it was the
They were at the 27.
Yep, so 15-yard penalty.
It brings it all the way back to the 42-yard line of the Princeton Vikings. Still second down, but second down in a mile.
Got to get to the 18.5.
And sitting on the 42.
And the big thing is that big loss takes you out of field goal.
Yeah, I think that's the more important thing right now.
Exactly.
Cam Mata has hit 50 in preseason. So
back to the I formation. Lawson Sandusky dotting
timeout
the I.
Cardinals.
As we said before the game, and
That was a quick play clock. That was down to one.
It's not on the referees anymore. It's 40 seconds.
Well, they were slow. I don't know.
I know, but it's 40 seconds after the end of the so it would have been 40 seconds after the penalty call. It doesn't matter how long it takes them to walk it off, and it's adjustment for everyone because everyone's used to 25 seconds after the referee sets the ball. That's not the case. It's 40 seconds.
Yeah, so it took the referee 30 seconds to spot the ball. I don't like that. Not on penalties and that. If it's a stoppage in play.
That was not on the ref. There were plenty of time. Cardinals just didn't get out.
Well, I'm not saying it's on the referees. I don't like that rule in that situation. But I understand it. You've got to adjust the rule changes every year.
Encourage all of our listeners to visit wearecolerain.com for all the latest news and information in regards to Colerain athletics. All kinds of information out there this week on boys and girls soccer results, as well as the preview again for this week's game, and we'll post a post-game article and pictures later on this weekend. All right, so 2nd down and 29 for Freddie Johnson and the Cardinals. They've got to find a way to move forward. There's a handoff right up the middle, and I'll tell you what, the Princeton defense right now is just owning this Colerain offensive line.
Well, we knew that coming in. That's the strength of this team. As good as their defense, you got 3 defensive backs going Division I, but if you can't move this, and I think their linebackers are really the strength of this team.
Middle linebackers are Jaheim Thomas, again, 6'4", 220. Iron Love, I think he's out there, number 22. And the number 12, John Harris. Again, I'm going to see if I can get the numbers on these guys. Give them proper credit for the excellent defense they're playing so far.
So 3rd down and almost 30.
On the I formation, don't know what you do for 3rd and 30. There's a speed pitch out wide to Hamza Abdul-Wahid. He's trying to get a little bit of room, and he does. He takes it down to the 35-yard line, but well short of the 1st down, and will bring on the punting unit for the Cardinals.
Yeah, you got to think. It's 35 plus 17. It's a 52-yard field goal now.
But if he gets it to the end zone.
If he gets it to the end zone, high school rules is automatic touchback, but
the thinking is here that they want to pin them even deeper than this one.
Yeah, this is a good idea.
It's a good place for a fake as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got Lawson Sandusky back there. He has the option at any time to fake this. He's a good enough athlete.
I mean, he can take that ball all the way up to the line of scrimmage before he punts it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. With the speed of the special teams and speed of the defense is shown for Princeton, I would not mess with that. He kicks it to the 20, and it takes a Princeton bounce up to the 22-yard line. So maybe the 52-yard field goal might have been in order there, but you only lose 2 yards on the missed attempt, so no big deal.
And tried to side wedge it there into the corner and kind of came off the foot, Lawson Sandusky a little awkwardly, and it hit at the 20-yard line and immediately took about a 65-degree bounce out of bounds to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, the unconventional punter with an oblong ball, you never know which way he's going to bounce. So Princeton's back out 5 wide. Horton in the shotgun formation.
There's right over the middle, and a big hit by Colerain. That's linebacker Michael Best, the junior, who just laid out that Viking runner.
What they call a decleater. He put him, the quarterback runs a draw right up the middle. Shoulder pad, chest to chest, just takes him flat on his back. No gain.
That was an excellent play.
Mike Best.
Yep. The junior, 6'1", 245. He's going to be, I believe, highly recruited next year as a senior. Jordan Hayden once again throws it, and it's incomplete. Interesting. So here's the philosophy, I guess, of their entire offense, right? Get the ball, get it in his hand, and release it in under 2 seconds. He hasn't had a running back in the backfield yet.
Yeah, that's how they caught Colerain with the big pass, though. He's been doing this quick timing pattern.
Well, no, that was
a hitch and go.
No, that wasn't even a hitch and go. That was a broken play. They wanted to screen the one way. It wasn't there. He got protection and went deep.
So Colerain would get drawn off sides, but there was a wide receiver move too, but he's drawn off by Colerain.
So with the way this offense is going, there isn't really a difference between 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5. It's been big play or nothing. But
so I don't know if Princeton's got something up their sleeve. They brought in the punter on 3rd down and 5.
Now the punter is also
the fullback.
He's
a fullback tight end. That was something I observed and found funny. So a little bit of different formation. They've got kind of a pistol formation, 2 fullbacks back there.
So Jordan Henn takes it.
And they give the 5 yards right back.
Yeah, Colerain kind of runs a stunt sideways start, and I believe he draws one of the offensive linemen.
That was, I just got in the game. I just got the game plays coming. I jumped.
Penalties have been a huge, huge issue for these Princeton Vikings so far this year.
And so far tonight, though, it's shot the foot of the Cardinals. They had a touchdown called back with the holding penalty.
Yep. For an offense that is still very much trying to find their way in this world, you just cannot have those kinds of calls on plays like that.
Back to 5 wide. Watch the running back out of the backfield. And again, Colerain gives it back to him.
That is the second time, 2 times in 3 plays that Colerain's
You think they sent 41 back out there?
That was on 11 on us on the outside.
No, that was on LT.
It was on LT,
Was it
number
LT
40.
too?
Yeah.
11 moved too.
Yeah. I mean,
So back to 3rd down and 5.
I'm saying they put 41. Did they put their guy back in?
Nope.
Quarterback draw.
so 3rd down and 5, a much more manageable 3rd down for this Vikings offense. Again, the formation doesn't change at all. 3 wide, 1 to the top.
Colerain goes off sides again.
That's number 2, Jalen Thompson. That is 3 offside penalties in 4 plays, and that's going to give the Princeton Vikings a first down.
He's going to be about a yard short. Yard short.
It was 3rd and
Nope,
9.
okay.
It has to be a first down.
It doesn't have to be.
If he,
That's what I've learned, Trish.
The referee has.
You never really trust the scoreboard in the angle that we're sitting at.
The referee has to signal first down. It doesn't have to be a first down.
So that does give them the first down out to the 32 3/4.
so first down, but Jaden Horton takes it, rolls, looking for some room. He takes it, he throws it, and it is incomplete. Intended for number 10 up the sideline, hit by number 22, Devontae Kiner.
Yeah, rolls quarterback out this time. Colerain's been getting good pressure up the middle, so they get him away from the pressure. And just a little timing out to the outside, but just kind of overthrows him. Good pressure up Colerain, close to almost a holding on the left tackle.
I'll tell you what, we cut
Right
out
tackle, but yeah.
we cut out the fumbles and the mistakes, and I mean, it's maybe a different ball game.
It's still only 6-0.
I know.
It's still only about 5 minutes and 6 minutes into the game. It's a very odd feel to this game.
It really does. It doesn't. It is. It's very strange. Here's when Jaden Horton takes it. He tries to run it right up the middle, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Princeton.
Jalen Thomas got him around the legs, and Xander Kendall finished him up top. 3rd and 9.
I tell you what they're doing, too. They're hitting. When the quarterback decides to run the ball, there are 3 Colerain Cardinals. They have hit him hard 4 or 5 times. So big 3rd down and 10.
With Jaden Horton in the backfield once again.
Colerain doesn't go offsides on the hard count.
3 wide receivers.
It's a good thing.
Split wide to the right, 1 to the top, on the short side of the field. Takes it, throws it, caught to number 1. Again, doesn't come out of the field. He's going to be short of the first down.
Needed the 42, just got the 40. Nope.
We got the 38.
Yeah, they're going to mark his foot out. He did dive out to the 40, but they're saying his foot was out at the 38.
That was Sterling Burkhalter.
Princeton will elect to send their punt team out.
They're going to send the fullback in.
He's the punter as well.
I'm sorry. I'm just entertaining me.
I know.
So
Jameer
4th down.
Matthews, a 5'8", 235-pound sophomore. That is the definition of a fire plug.
Really like to see Colerain try to put a little pressure on us. That snap is so slow.
Yep, it's a high snap, and it's a high.
Thank you.
Yep. High kick. It's going to bounce at the 40-yard line and take a huge Colerain bounce all the way back up to the 45.
A small Colerain bounce.
What would
5
be
yards.
huge? 10 yards? Would that be huge?
Anything backwards is huge, I would say. But Colerain, again, winning the field position battle. They'll start their own 45. They've just got to find something that works on offense. But this Princeton defense, I tell you what, they don't only look the part. They're playing the part tonight.
Score updates. Lakota West and Sycamore tied at 7. Hamilton on top of Fairfield 7-6. Middletown 3, Lakota East 0. And the barn burner that we all expected, Mason 14, Oak Hills 0.
Mason 0-3, Oak Hills 0-3. Somebody's coming out of that game with a victory tonight.
Colerain
Guarantee it.
switches up to the I formation.
Offset I now, Freddie Johnson.
He's throwing it. Lawson Dusky's got a man wide open.
And he throws it deep down the field, and it is caught and going into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
I saw that last possession. They put Sandusky back at the eye, and he's like their fourth string. He played some quarterback at the JV level a couple
He
of
was
years
the
ago.
starting quarterback at the JV level.
Last year. And I tell you what, wide open. They really bought on that. Colerain has tied the ball game.
Just the way you draw it up, that's what you wanted to do.
Who caught that? I didn't.
Isaiah Myers, the
Isaiah
sophomore,
Myers.
had his first varsity touchdown last week. He adds another here.
A lot to ask for a sophomore to stand there and wait in perpetuity for that ball to come down to
got-
him. But he did, and he caught it and brought it into the end zone. Cameron not on for the extra point.
Snap is a little high, gets it down. Kick is up and good. And the 3:53 marker, the first quarter, it's your Colerain Cardinals 7, the Princeton Vikings 6. This has got to be one of the longest quarters.
It's taking forever.
I mean, all it is incompletions from Princeton, fumbles and turnovers for the Cardinals.
Right. The whole game goes like this. I'll be exhausted by the time we get to the first
we're over a half hour, almost a half hour into this game, and we still got 4 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Well, that happens when you've got two defenses the talent of this and two offenses really that are kind of struggling to find a little bit of identity.
Yeah, but then you still expect, we're a running team. That should run some time off the clock. It's just been a very odd start to this football game. Princeton both teams seem very flat coming out. Princeton obviously was hyped when they got that big turnover and then touchdown. Colerain seemed really flat until they just scored there on that big trick play.
So we'll see what happens now as the Cardinals will kick off to the Vikings.
Cardinals were able to trap the Vikings inside their 20-yard line last time. Really, he just had a bullseye, kind of coffin cornered it to the 25-yard line and let it kind of bounce, stay, and play.
Princeton has shifted over that way, brought the return man up a little bit to take away that little space.
So Cameron Ott gets his foot underneath it, and again, it's a pooch kick. It's going to come down at about the 20-yard line. It's caught. Colerain defense is there. Picked up. Good. Oh, he sheds one tackle. 42 is there, but he held him up enough for the rest of the Colerain defenders to come in and make the tackle right around the 23.5-yard line, where it'll be first down for the Vikings. That's 42. That's our special teams ace coming in and had his hands on him, but couldn't quite bring it down.
Did we ever get a pronunciation?
I did not.
You should get one next week.
Well, I may do it after the game. We'll find out. Let's try it again. Temeskin Kase. Temeskin Kase? If there's a Temeskin Kase fan or family member that happens to be listening or watching online, you want to reach out to us in the chat room, that'd be great. We haven't checked in on
And they'll
the
be
chat
able
room
to type out the pronunciation?
Yeah, if they could do that. Sounds like.
Sounds like just like it's written.
Just like it's written. I have that problem with my last name all the time. What do you mean you can't pronounce it?
Hippopotamus?
It's exactly
So
as
the
it's written.
referees spot the ball, but they're moving it back. Was there a penalty on the play?
I can only presume there was.
They're bringing it all the way
Holding
back.
on the Vikings.
Okay.
During the return?
I didn't see a flag, and they didn't spot the ball, but the flag.
Well, they have spot the ball now. That's a holding. And the referee kind of did it. Either that or he's got an itchy forearm that he's waving in his face.
Snap back. Horton's got it once again. Pass it's a little hook and ladder and almost got loose. That was interesting. Princeton with a little trickery of their own. Made the catch, completed the hook and ladder. The back receiver came around the side, but got pushed out of bounds by a Colerain defender who stayed home. Picked up about 9 yards on the play. It'll be very close.
Should have probably been a loss on the play. Kiner had him initially, but he gets around him in the corner. Timeout, sidelines, referee. I think he wants to make sure that
Jeff Ruby can see.
No, he doesn't care about Jeff Ruby. He wants to know if it's a first down or not.
Jeff Ruby standing with 5 feet.
Jeff Ruby looks like he's like it's like
Wild Country Safari.
It's like what's that play? It's like a Branson Vikings officially the first down. It's like a Branson, Missouri Australian Outback outfit.
That's really descriptive. I like that.
I like his manned bag.
It's pretty impressive. It's a satchel. Snap is back, and there's a handoff up the middle to the tailback, number 15, who's got it. He's going to pick up positive yards on first down, take it up to about the 28-yard line.
That's the first successful run they pretty much had.
I don't know why Princeton doesn't just do that.
I don't know why either. In fact, that's a question that's been asked many times throughout prep high school football circles this year. Why do they not just hand the ball off and run behind that massive offensive line?
I mean, you have a guy that's going to Ohio State, two other guys in the offensive line going to MAC schools.
Right.
Or a one MAC, one FCS school. You have a foreman to the front.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. There's a handoff once again. Oh, nope, Jaden Horton keeps it. He's going to get it out past the 35, enough for the first down, up to their 37-yard line. So 2 conversions for the Princeton Vikings now have them set up first down and 10. at their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, they made an adjustment here. They were just flanking the running back out. Now they're keeping him back there and just going straight read option, having a little success.
There's a handoff once again up the middle, looking for some room, and spins out of several tackles. He does before he finally gets taken down. Does the tailback getting up all the way out to the 44-yard line.
Hey, Jalen Thomas had him at the line of scrimmage, but James Price spins out of it, falls forward, and gets 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Not that big. I mean, he's listed 5'7", 160, but he runs through a couple tackles right there.
Kept his feet moving, spun.
That's one thing. You're 5'7". The low man wins in football, and he's got a little bit of an angle there. So second down 3.
Jordan Hayden takes it, hands it off once again. 15's got it through the middle, still on his feet, into Colerain territory right at the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him stop progress at the 49-yard line. So it'll be another first down for the Vikings, who have now decided almost exclusively to run the football.
And it's a very good run by Price. He didn't get a whole lot, but LT Johnson was there in the backfield to make the play, but the running back makes a good read and lets the pulling tackle get in the way of LT Johnson and falls in right in underneath him and picks up the yards for the first down.
Into Colerain territory, 49-yard line.
The clock's moving now, under 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Cardinals up 7-6. Snap is back. Once again, fakes the handoff, does Jaden Horton. He keeps it. He's going to be stopped and taken down after about a 2-yard gain.
I'm going to call it 1.5.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
Compromise, 1 3/4.
What do you often say, the most inaccurate measurement in sports?
It is. I'm going to throw it. This guy's foot, he's going to set it down here, and this guy here, he's going to stretch this chain that may or may not be run by people who just learned how to do it before the game.
I always laugh when
you could just kind of, if one of them kind of slides a little bit without knowing it, unconsciously affect the whole play.
There's a snap once again. Back to Jaden Horton. He keeps it. He stays on his feet. Eludes several tackles.
Ball's loose.
Cardinals got it.
The Cardinals have recovered.
Horton, I believe he's got 3 or 4 fumbles on the year. He was stretching for extra yardage, and Colerain strips it, gets the fumble. They're going to have the ball at about their own 42.
Huge turnover for the Colerain Cardinals to pick up and stop the momentum. The Vikings were moving the ball really at will down the field, and it just couldn't hold on to that one.
And MJ Horton's doing, if you ever see the running backs and Colerain quarterbacks pregame, kind of see that drill where they have the ball in one hand, try to catch themselves with the other hand, try to keep their balance. That's basically what Horton was doing, and he did it for about 3 tacklers, staying on his feet, but the third one came in, knocked the ball loose. Cardinals recover.
Yeah, that's fine to do when you make contact and you're kind of in open field, but when there's linebackers, defensive backs flying all around you contact, you got to get 2 hands on that ball.
Freddie Johnson once again under center, under the I formation.
Lawson Sandusky is not a tailback.
There's a snap. He's going to roll, try and run wide, makes a few guys miss, runs into a wall of Vikings, but he's going to pick up 5 yards on the play.
4.5.
He's going to do that every time, Eddie.
That's okay.
Ooh, no.
5.5.
No, that's exactly 5.
That's exactly 5.
That's exactly 5.
I think that's what I said, but I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I'd never hear what you're saying.
I know.
So this time Colerain didn't even fake it. It was just a quarterback keeper around the outside.
Yep, spun. Took it to his left, did Freddie Johnson, and picked up 5 yards on first down. That's quite a positive sign. Under center once again. This time does hand it off to the fullback. He takes it out into Princeton territory, enough for a Cardinal first down.
And that's exactly what they did last year. I mean, a lot of us go back and watch the film. They went right at Jaheim Thomas and said, Thomas, you're going to have to tackle the fullback. Now, in this case, he does, but not before he picks up 6 yards, enough for the first down. Last year, we saw it. Pace just kind of ran for – Pace is
a little different animal at fullback than what we had this year.
But I'm just saying, that's kind of what the formula was last year.
Well, there was a big hole there. The nose tackle was playing to one side, and Thomas was flexed way out. Lots of room off left guard.
Now we have whistles. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. It's your Colerain Cardinals 7, the Princeton Vikings 6.
I said he was either about to coach Rod on the sidelines for the quarterbacks coach of the Cardinals, was either trying to pump his team out, call timeout, or just show off his guns. He kind of flexed right at him. That was odd. I'm like, that's the oddest way ever to signal timeout to the referee.
Did he come into our box before the game?
He didn't.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yeah, but I was just saying, on that last play, Thomas kind of flexed outside. He likes to rush the quarterback, speed rusher from the outside. Brandon said, let him come through. But when that the big nose tackle, Younger, 6 foot, 360 pounds, flexes to one side, it really leaves the linebacker one-on-one with the fullback, and I'll take that matchup every time if you can stay patient.
Automotive for the generous sponsorship.
So remember, if you want to reach us online, that's radio@wearecolerain.com. Or say hi in the chat. Mike, our producer's really working hard, trying to update some scores at halftime. So Colerain's going to start the ball this second quarter. First down at the Princeton.
I'm so confused. The Cardinals are faced the wrong direction.
Yeah, something happened. They've done flipped. Well, a WCPO guy finished eating, and he's left, so maybe I can put my stuff here. Let's see. Freddie Johnson takes it, hands it off over the middle. Good pursuit by the Princeton defense.
MJ Flowers at fullback just picks up the 3-4 yards.
Yeah, the team is just they're just young. They're just young, and they're just not quite developed. I mean, MJ Flowers is only a sophomore. He's hitting that hole going up against Jaheim Thomas.
But he's not your average sophomore. He was the JV fullback last year. They knew he was something special.
Oh, I know. I know, but it's just right. There's a physical maturity that comes with being 15
a difference between
being 18.
There's a difference between a 15, 16-year-old and a 17, 18-year-old.
Exactly. I mean, so here we go. Second down for the Cardinals. Freddie Johnson takes it, spins, looks for some room. Wiggles, waggles. He's going to get taken down after about a 2-yard pickup. Well, we'll give him a 3-yard pickup on that. It's going to be about third down and a long 5.
Yeah, the Vikings kind of switched up where they had their defense ends outside the tackles. That play, they moved him inside. Looked like Freddie changed the play to get out there.
Well, Freddie or Tyler Williams, your offense coordinator, one of the two.
At what point do we see Freddie try and go little pop pass here? You haven't made a seam pass comment yet. I'm shocked.
Well, it hasn't been there. Linebackers are staying back a little bit. Big third down conversion, third down and about 6.
So big third down for the Cardinals here. There we go. It's a pass outside to Shannon Murray, who's got it. Swaps, make one-man move. He's going to get tackled.
It'll be about a yard short, but interesting. Needed to get to the 42, gets to the 43, but this is almost in the area where you might go.
No hesitation right away. Cardinals throw in their big boy package. Elijah Ford, Donovan Owens, Dante Corleone, Mike Best, Deshaun Pace immediately into the game.
A little more than a yard to get go on this big fourth down.
So it's a good move. It's a good play call. You're into Viking
I would have
territory.
liked them, though. You know you're going to do it. Don't
go right away.
Just go right away. But
yeah. But
they're huddling up.
Yeah, Princeton really doesn't do much in formation and defense anything different.
So Freddie Johnson under center.
Heavy left side.
Yep, heavy left side. There's the handoff to MJ Flowers. He takes it. He has enough for the first down. He's still on his feet. He's into the open. He's down to the 20, down to the 15-10. A huge run for the sophomore MJ Flowers.
Okay, no, that was just a Princeton Vikings yellow gloves. I got a little concerned.
See, Brandon, you make fun of me when I say.
I know, but it's the shoes. Not a lot of kids have yellow gloves.
Yellow gloves and yellow shoes should be banned unless it's part of the school uniform.
No, they shouldn't. But
because my eyes are so bad, I see yellow shoes on the ground. I think it's a penalty flag.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals on the Viking 11-yard line.
I've complained about that for years, and my son makes fun of me for it.
Yeah, he complains about teams having different shoes.
I know. It's not a uniform if they're not uniform.
Freddie Johnson under center, takes, rolls, finds, follows.
Follow
He followed MJ Flowers through that hole. He's getting a much bigger game, but instead.
He still gets 4 yards.
Yeah, he decided to cut it back inside, but you're right. MJ Flowers took it and just took off. He follows MJ Flowers. He can hold on to his coattails all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, they had stayed in that we refer to as the big boy package, and they were overloaded at time to the left side and keeps it himself, doesn't give it up.
Freddie ran away from his blockers.
Well, you see a crease, you take it.
Interesting
Maybe
philosophy.
Just makes the wrong read.
Yep, 3 yards on that gain. Second down and
It's
7.
very interesting. The Cardinals are known to do different things with their splits.
I was just thinking that.
Their tights. Their splits are super tight to what they normally are.
I was just thinking that on the last play.
And Princeton has kind of got their defense end very tight. Inside,
there we go. Good
inside
snap.
the guard.
Hand off to MJ Flowers. He takes it. He's inside the 5-yard line.
He's
fighting and pushing. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. MJ Flowers.
I thought that was the ball. It was a Viking helmet that flew in the air, but MJ Flowers had the line to gain, pushes through the secondary, and falls forward into the end zone. 6 points for your Colerain Cardinals.
You know, you got to love the coach's adjustments. I don't know if the offensive line are blocking different, but they're reading the defensive line and finding a weakness and exploiting it that time. They always kind of they make that adjustment that second quarter. So ever important extra point.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is
Look good to me.
no
No
good.
good. It's wide left.
Oh, it was wide left. Wow, that Cameron Ott's first miss of the year. I am horrible.
And after
on extra points.
8:55 with 8:55 to play in the second quarter, the Colerain Cardinals 13, the Vikings of Princeton 6.
So that extra point advantage they had on the Vikings' first miss, they gave it right back there.
Yeah, not a lot of pressure. He just kind of pulled it. We were handed kind of a little late, but why we got a little breaking action. The first quarter stats, as we expected, 78 total yards for Colerain. Princeton 19 plays for only 105 yards. The two big plays, the 55-yard reception for a touchdown for Colerain and the 73-yard reception pass for the Vikings.
So the Vikings had how many total yards of offense?
105 on
And
19 plays.
and 73 of them came on one play.
53.
53 came on one play. They had a couple short ones.
Oh, ours was the 73-yard touchdown? No.
No,
Theirs
theirs-
was
Theirs was a 53-yard touchdown.
was it?
Ours was a
No.
55-yard. They have 73 yards total passing.
They were both 55-yard touchdown passes.
Interesting. So here we go. Cameron Ott, the ball lined up. He's got it. A little bit deeper kick this time. Going to be caught. Actually, it's going to go out of bounds. So it'll be illegal procedure against the Cardinals. The ball will be taken out to the 35-yard
I'm
line.
fine with
So it's a very dangerous spot. Both teams so far have given up 55-yard. No, that's a 45-yard line. Disregard what I just said. Completely.
It's all right. I don't listen to you anyway.
I was about to say it's a very dangerous section, but no.
That 35-yard line.
Just
It's wicked.
That ball's going to be placed at the 35.
yard line.
Princeton, their last series, came out and ran the read option. Had a little bit of success before the turnover. Looks like see if they'll go
Well,
right
your
back to it.
fullback / tight end / punter is in the game.
Brandon, you keeping an eye on Paris Johnson, finding him on the line, seeing who he's matching up against?
He's just going to be pulling.
Yep, there's been Jaden Horton who fakes the handoff, keeps himself, and falls down behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard.
And if the Colerain Cardinals defensive coordinator see this, almost that entire drive, it was exclusively him pulling from the left tackle, power to the right side, pulling, follow in behind him. That was the entire last drive started out. He's pulling right almost every single time they go to run the ball.
Second down for the Vikings.
They did not give him a loss of a yard. Oh, they did. Second 11 on the scoreboard.
Well,
It doesn't look like it on the field, but
now, the ball is at the 35. It started at the 35.
so there's Horton. Got it. Fakes the handoff, keeps himself, tries to cut it up. Going to pick up a few yards, take it out to about the 38-yard line. It'll be third down.
3rd and 7, 6.5, somewhere in that range.
Tackle made by number 2, Thomas.
Hey, Dante Corleone's
Imploring the Colerain student section who are here on Camo Night. As
I
well
didn't
as
see
fans
it.
to get up.
That explains why I couldn't see
I
him.
thought that was just an empty stands over there.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7. They need to get to the 45-yard line. They go 4
I
wide.
don't even get a thanks for setting that up.
Oh, you set that up?
Of course I did. Come on, guys. 3 wide. Jordan Horton stops back. Pass incomplete. Not even close to the intended receiver. Well covered anyway. It'll be 4th down, and the Vikings will be forced to punt again.
He was forced to throw that almost as soon as he caught it. The offensive line really didn't stop much. The defensive line right there, he's all over him. Tried just to run a quick out pattern, but he needed 8, and he was forced to throw that through at about 6-yard out. Incomplete.
Speaking of fullbacks for the Colerain Cardinals, let's see, I had nothing. Ivan Pace Jr. is listening in.
We love Taz.
His little brother, Deshaun, back deep for the Cardinals.
And we say back deep. He's sitting at his own 34-yard line.
He's setting up for about a 25-yard net.
Yeah, what is that? About a 25-yard punt? Snap is back. It's a high snap. Colerain comes, but the kick gets off, and it's a better kick that time around. Caught by Deshaun Pace. Does not call a fair catch. Keeps holding on to it. He's going to get forward progress. Let's see where they're calling him down.
That was
31.
one that if you're in the NFL, you're like, that's a very, very unsmart move. But when you're in high school and you're a special athlete, you're okay with them occasionally doing something like that. He, by all means, should have caught that pass. that punt. But
Yeah.
He had good vision, and he had enough time. That ball was high enough. You're absolutely right.
And he
I was
secured
holding
it.
my breath. Why is he not fair catching it? But
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure.
if he breaks it, he's a genius. He held onto the ball, no return. So
sometimes crazy equals genius.
yeah, so ball spotted at the 31.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals. Again, tight formations, and there's a flag.
They draw the offsides on
Yep.
number 14.
Is that the
Taj
end?
Marshall Talbert, left end.
Yep.
Nope, I'm sorry, 24. Jaheim Thomas. That is the stupidest color for a
Yeah,
number.
I don't like the. Yeah, that's
Oh no,
it's
they're
just really
fine.
tough to
No,
read.
they're fine until the players sweat, and then the gray becomes a very dark gray.
And
Yeah.
if you're close to him, you can see him. And I know the color combination is great, but not for a broadcast team.
No,
So
it's just difficult.
1st and 5.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Straight handoff, Flowers off of one tackle, straggling the
On
defender,
the ball.
and he'll get just to the 40, be about a yard short.
MJ's going to hold on to that ball really, really strong the rest of this game, I believe. Of course, having a fumble on the first play from scrimmage for the Colerain Cardinals on offense. MJ, again, only a sophomore. He's got a lot of growing to do, but he's got a very bright future ahead of him. Second down and short for the Cardinals. They get to the line quickly. Freddie Johnson backs off, gets a play
I
from
don't know
the
what
side.
Coach Rod is doing, but
He is very animated. Seems to be tapping his chin and waving his hands feverishly.
Well, there's him and Tyler Williams both signal the play in. I know one of them's the dummy play, but
Hamza Abdul-Wahid in motion. It's a handoff over the middle. And we have a first down for the Colerain Cardinals up to the 45-yard line.
joke's on you. I think they're both dummy calls. Coach John Cook in the background is the one with the actual signal.
shh, don't tell anybody.
Actually, I just know that those are the three people signaling in the plays.
Yeah, Colerain
And they're not always all dummy. One could just be the formation. One could.
be the play. Absolutely. So first down to 45.
There's a calmness has come across this offense now.
See, though, that same calmness was a flatness.
Yeah, exactly, in the first
It's a
quarter.
very fine line.
Freddie Johnson takes it, hands it off once again to MJ Flowers, and once again he stays on his feet. He's going to take it up to the 50-yard line, so the sophomore tailback is finding some room in the middle of that strong defensive line for the Vikings.
Well, past games here at Princeton, Colerain has had a lot of success with the fullback.
But this is, if you're the Cardinals, this is what you want.
Oh,
You know what? You have all these big guys up front, and I'm especially looking at the young man, the 6 foot, 360-pound Joshua Younger. You want to wear that front out. You know you're big. We know you're fast.
Well,
but how long can you last when the Cardinals grind 4 or 5 yards at a time?
Freddie Johnson takes it. This
Oh,
time
nice.
takes the
Good
handoff,
read.
keeps it himself,
Good
takes
read.
it all the way down to the Viking 45-yard line. It'll be enough for another Cardinal first down.
Hey, Brandon, and that's a good point. He's going against Ace Ehrenschweider, your captain, not only a 3-year starter, but one of the top wrestlers. So, for a big guy, he's got a lot
and
of.
it's been a center on this offense before. I know at a certain point when you get a big guy like that, you just want to keep going and
Just lean on
going
him.
to the point where he is so tired, he doesn't want to be out there that you don't even have to block him.
It doesn't take much just to knock him right over. Huh?
No, it doesn't. It's not even that. You're going at such a clip and a pace that you put a hand on him, go up straight to the next level.
Colerain does have a player down, and we can take a break in the action.
I think that
Looks like
is-
78 DeLon Pert. Is it 78 or 79?
I thought I only
Yep.
saw the 7 on his jersey.
Here.
Go ahead, take a look. Maybe you can see it. Now the referee's in your way.
Only WLWT Channel 5 is
Again, for all of you listening, we've got 5.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Colerain up
What?
13-6.
One thing for sure, it's a 7, and then there's a
Something round?
circle round. So it's either an 8 or a 9
There you
for
go.
sure.
There you
It's
go.
an 8.
It's an 8. 78, and he's going to get helped off the field, not putting any weight at all on his
Yeah,
right
the,
ankle.
The senior starting left guard,
Well, stronger.
strong guard.
And those familiar with the Colerain offense know they don't really have a left and right. It's a strong and weak side. Flip the formation.
So if 74 comes in, that's Spitznagel, 6'2", 335-pound junior, who's a backup. A lot of juniors on this team getting a lot of varsity action this year.
Take a break. Remember, you can reach us at radio@wearecolerain.com or directly in the YouTube comments. Also listening in, including Ivan Pace, is also Deontay Smith-Moore.
DSM 2.0 and Taz tuning in. Guys, we loved covering you. We love you even more that you're staying with your Cardinals. #wants a Cardinal. always a Cardinal.
Did he just say
Oh, my
hashtag?
gosh.
I
It's
did.
not-
I did. I love saying it.
Happy face, thumbs up.
First down
First
and
down.
10 for the Cardinals. Freddie Johnson under center. Drops back, spins. He's got some room. He's got some blockers. He's going to have enough for the first down. He's into the open and pursued, but not until he gets deep into Princeton territory for another Cardinal first down.
What an interesting and really effective play call. They go back to this heavy formation, bring those extra defenders in, and then they motion out Deshaun Pace. Everyone in the building is thinking, oh, Deshaun, it's a play fake, go deep Deshaun Pace. They use that as a decoy, and then it's just a student body right into that space.
Student body left, right into that
right
space.
into the space, unoccupied by the corner, thinking Deshaun Pace is going deep.
Yeah, Princeton Viking defensive line is not doing anything to adjust to that big size. They're playing a man up. Colerain has more blockers there than there are defenders.
Now they switch the heavy side to the right side. First down and 10 at the Princeton 26-yard line. There's a handoff to the fullback. He takes it, cuts it inside. He gets it inside the 20-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down. We're going to call him about a yard short. Great run again for the sophomore, MJ Flowers.
Man, give these credit up front. That's Stegmuller, Pertz out, but Aaron Schwender, Cameron Carnes, Elijah Malik, and your tight ends Beavers and Ford really getting a push on this series.
So second down and 2 officially on the scoreboard. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line.
You're right. We're looking at those big 3 defensive linemen, all of them with their hands on their hips at this moment.
Well, I mean, this is what the Colerain offense can do. It just wears down your defense, and we're not even at halftime yet. But they got to keep it up,
that's
and
a
you've
good
got to
matchup
maintain
to
the
the
ball.
left side.
Yeah, like that. Second down and 2.
Same
Freddie
play.
takes it, spins left, looking for some room. There's pursuit behind him, but he's on his feet, and he's got it plenty for the first down inside the 10-yard line, all the way down to the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Cardinals.
And it's the exact same play. Go heavy, run Pace in motion to the outside, unoccupies in space, and Johnson is just patient enough. Freddie just waits, and just keeps going, almost a stretch play, gets it inside the Princeton 5-yard line.
The Vikings may be a little gassed.
And
Call a
I gotta say,
timeout.
this is a two-pronged timeout. Your
Yeah.
defensive line is gassed right now,
Yeah.
but it's also a defensive adjustment. They have been slowly matriculating the ball, and they're not doing anything super fancy. It's just formation. It's just blocking up front. But
Yeah.
again, they are being worn, and this is a perfect drive for the Colerain front. They are slowly wearing down that Princeton front seven. I can't wait. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised come second half that cornerback plays a little closer on Pace, stop and go for it. So they're setting themselves up.
That's exactly right. Yeah, people don't understand sometimes the nuances of the game, and they, why aren't we throwing the ball a little bit more, go over top of these guys? Well, that's the reason. We're doing it now. We're setting it up in the first half. So then in the second half, it's open.
And it'll be interesting to see play kind of formations like this inside it. We've seen it a lot more with Freddie kind of spinning into the backfield, keeping himself sometimes. There's a lot of Tyler Williams spent 5-6 years in the Arena League. That's a very different type of running the football there. He's a specialist there. So you got to think he's going to add his little kind of spin. Everyone puts their own little touch on this Cardinal offense as they go through.
Yeah, again, not only a bunch of first-year players on this varsity team for the Cardinals, but also first-year coaches with Colerain's leading all-time rusher, Tyler Williams, coming back to take over offensive coordinator responsibilities.
Colerain stays in the big boy package, overloading the left side. Princeton has gone to,
Mike.
they brought their linebackers a little bit tighter.
Mike Best and Deshaun Pace over there. There's a handoff to MJ Flowers. He bounces it outside, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
MJ Flowers, nothing fancy. It's outside veer. And with that formation, there's no pitch responsibility, so it's just that extra man on the outside is going to be blocked, and he just follows the blocking. You're going to get that outside. Those 3 guys in the end, they're just going to triple team down. Whoever comes up, that's the read. He comes up, and MJ Flowers, the fullback, slips right underneath for the touchdown.
There's a Princeton Viking down in the end zone.
I was surprised. Did he come out in that? I would have surprised that Paris Johnson didn't come out for that play on the goal line.
Well, you know
were
what?
surprised he didn't come out?
That's why I was trying to see if he did or not.
You could go 4 guys all over 280 pounds.
Yeah.
But at 6'8", defensive lineman, you really want a little bit more leverage. Is he too tall for defensive lineman?
It's high school football now.
As we mentioned before the game, the Colerain Cardinals have won 76 consecutive GMC games. This would be number 77. A long way to go before we're there, but they have proven that without a doubt they are the class of this conference from a football perspective over the past 2+ decades, and they're working on 19 consecutive GMC championships. This year would be 20, and again would break the all-time record held by this Princeton Vikings program from 1967 to 1985, where they won 19 in a row. And I think they have 27 overall. So we're still quite a ways away from claiming total football supremacy.
We got a couple of those, right?
Yeah,
outside the streak right now?
That is Darian Henry that was down and hurt, and now
that's
he's
a
up.
big loss. He's their top defender, noticeably limping.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Does he
walking
not
off
have to come off the field?
Well, he is.
He
He's
is.
walking
Oh,
off
okay.
right
No,
now.
that's a 49
Yeah.
out of 19.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
That's 24. That's
24. That's Shaheem Thomas.
That's
That's why.
Shaheem Thomas.
No
That's
wonder Henry was walking on the field because he wasn't the man hurt on the play.
So the all-important extra point for the Colerain Cardinals.
Who's 17 long snapping?
1 for 2 for the Colerain Cardinals on extra points tonight.
Lawson Sandusky, snap, hold, kick is good. And with 4:11 to play in the first half, it's your Colerain Cardinals 20. The Princeton Vikings 6, and that's a change. There's little things.
It depends on the week who's going to
It depends, but we saw this last year. Colerain struggled in the first couple of games with a snapper till they finally found one for the end of the season. Cardinals have struggled with those field goal snaps early on, and who steps up but your punter / fourth-string quarterback / wingback / now he's
I
your
think they
field
list
goal
him
long
in the
snap.
program as athlete.
Lawson Sandusky.
Yeah, he
But
can do a lot of things.
You're right. Aaron Schwender had moved in about week 2 and was doing a fine job, but it says he's got his hands full tonight with the 360-pound nose guard. So, but if you can find, you don't need a big guy to be a long snapper on that because they can't hit him.
Yes, you legally cannot go.
They being the defensive line.
The
of the
defense
opposing
cannot
team,
go
right.
through them.
No, they being the UFOs. Of course, the defense.
Is that tomorrow or tonight?
That's right now. I watched it live.
Guys, we got to be careful tonight.
Storm in Area 51.
Storm in Area 51
I was
is
watching
tonight.
today. There has been one arrest already.
It's for public urination, but yeah, there's a rest today.
So Cameron Ott's going to tee it up again. He's popped him up, keeping it away from the dangerous return man. Really overplaying this right side. Last kick, he was out of bounds.
Again, it's a pop-up.
That's going to stay in bounds. It's going to be caught,
Fumbled.
and picked up by the Colerain Cardinals, number 14, Hemba Abdul Wahid, one of the up men, caught the muffed catch, and the Colerain Cardinals will take over. First down and 10 at the Viking 26-yard line.
Yeah, it was Thomas Bird tried to catch it on. No, it's not Thomas Bird. That's a 2, not a 7. I hate these numbers. I hate
That's
these numbers.
that's a 4.
No, it's a 2.
That's a 4. Which one are we talking about?
The guy that dropped the ball.
Is he the one with the straps down right now, and he's strapping him right now?
I took my eye off.
I'm going to let you guys work through that. I don't know.
Oh, he's upset.
It was a single. Well, they have been having Kevin Suttles was doing the return duties along.
But that wasn't the guy back returning. That was the up man.
All right, so it was either.
It was a fumble by Princeton. Let's just.
It was either
stick with
Suttles.
that. It was a
Everhart,
team fumble.
Scarborough, Horton, Bowers. I'm just naming all the guys with single digits.
Yeah, it was a guy with single digits. We know that for
it's
sure.
a round single digit.
Yeah.
So Colerain
Not a
takes
pointing
over.
single digit.
Yeah. Well, we know Wahid got the recovery. Colerain's ball on the 26-yard line.
Yep, 2 timeouts left. It's a handoff to MJ Flowers. He's got it. He's going to get more positive yards. Again, just student body left. Cut inside. Good blocking by the offensive line to give MJ at least a 4-yard pickup.
And right now, he just came off hurt. I don't know if he's come back in, but their stud linebacker,
And I tell you
Thomas,
what,
is out.
There's some jawing going on, a flag after the play.
And I'm not sure who that was against. We'll see.
Might be both teams.
I don't know.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Princeton.
Yeah, he was really.
And that's the thing that'll happen when you do this sort of heavy formation where that play side, that left side,
Yeah.
they're just triple teaming every single play. They're going to go on that defensive end, push him into the second level, try to catch some linebackers, and that's going to frustrate you if over and over
It's the
again
same play, but you still
the
can't
same
stop it.
play is coming right at you, and so it's.
And the ball's going to be 11. Yeah, and they brought in, it's Owens of defensive lineman at 225 and Corleone at 285 to that left side. So a lot of beef over there on that left side. And
Ball down now, 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. So important note there because the Cardinals can pick up a first down without having to score the touchdown. Freddie Johnson under center.
Pass, he's there.
Looks to pass. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be knocked down.
Nice
incomplete.
defense.
Good coverage by the Vikings on defense.
Not that guy, though.
Oh, the other guy
Deshaun
over
Pace
here?
was the guy that's wide open.
No, that was Elijah Ford.
No, better pass Elijah Ford as a touchdown. But
Elijah Ford was who it was intended for. You're saying Deshaun was wide open.
yes.
That's a great play call, though. I mean, it's
Well-
you're up 20-6. You're deep in your opponent's territory. Go ahead and try and catch him off guard.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, make it a 3-score game. And you get the ball to start the second half.
Everything's coming up Cardinal.
Yep, still big boy formation, heavy left.
Freddie Johnson under center now. Mike Bess in motion. And we've got whistles. They're calling a false start against the Cardinals. So their first penalty against Colerain in quite some time.
Mike Best went in motion and set. I don't know if they had him moving forward at all, or maybe his an offensive lineman flex. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but I am, again, it might not. Now the big boys are coming off. Elijah Ford, Corleone, Mike Best, they're all off.
This is when you go pitch outside.
Yeah,
You've got a tired defensive line with slow legs. Everybody's bottled up the middle. Let's get a quick pitch outside.
Freddie Johnson just doing quarterback keep and fullback dives pretty much for this entire quarter. Let's see what he does here in the I formation. Hamza Abdul-Wahid and Deshaun Pace out wide right.
Quick throw to Wahid.
Or how about inside veer to the left?
See what they do here. There's a quick pass out to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and he drops it. It is incomplete, and it goes out of bounds.
No, they're going to call that a backward pass. Yet somehow the backward pass is going to pick up a yard.
Well, the backward pass bounced off Wahid and then went forward.
And a good play there by Wahid. He knew he wasn't going to get the ball. He went right after the defender and pushed him so he couldn't either be in bounds and establish himself or make a good play on the ball.
So smart move by the senior, Hamza Abdul-Wahid.
Jalen Thomas is brought in the ball game. He's going to dot the I. So you've got a little bit bigger backfield.
It's going to be a pitch to Jalen Thomas right here.
To the
I'm
left.
just going to let you know.
Two wide receivers split to the top. Again, Hamza Abdul-Wahid. Deshaun Pace. I formation set up right behind Freddie Johnson under center.
It's there.
He takes it, and there's a speed pitch to Jalen Thomas. He's going to try one ride, try and find some room, and he's going to find some room. He's going to have enough for the first down. Did he get into the end zone?
Yeah, they're going to
depend on the spot.
Mark his foot out at the 4-yard line.
The 4 is where they're marking it.
Yep.
So he's going to be short of the first down. Fourth and about 3 yards.
Yeah, Cameron Hott's going to come out there. Already up 2 scores. Let's get a third.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of an odd angle for a right-footed kicker. This ball's
Great
gonna be
effort
placed
by
on
What's
the
JT,
goal line.
23 minus 6? 17.
17.
That's 3 scores.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, validate the math.
I have an engineering and business degree, so I'm smart.
I'm your dad.
And I'm waiting for the snap.
Landesky with the hold. Prather with the set. Kick is up. Kick is
No
good.
left.
So leaving some points on the board. Cameron Ott, normally very short-legged, tonight has missed an extra point and a field goal.
Well, he had the distance by a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
but he
that's
missed
a
it.
right-footed kicker that's tough to push to the right. Kicking from the left hash, and he just hit it straight. And when you're on the left hash, you're going to be left.
And the
every time.
unfortunate thing for the Cardinals, it results in a 16-yard loss.
Yeah, any ball that goes into the end zone on a kick by OSHA rules comes out to the 20.
So there'll be no kickoff or punt here. The Vikings will just get it on the 20-yard line.
With 2:26, Colerain probably can sit back on defense a little bit and
Keep
look
it
for
in
the
front.
pass.
Well, the defense is certainly well rested. I'll tell you that.
No, well, half of them have been playing
Half-
offense.
Yeah,
That's true.
your defensive line when we're playing a little bit of offense.
And then Mike Best, Jalen Thomas, Deshaun Pace, they're all out there. There's a quick snap across over the middle. Man is open.
Coming
He's got
back.
it.
Ball's going to be coming back. They got holding on the outside here. I believe on the left tackle.
Yep.
They did switch it up that time. That time they pulled the right tackle instead of the left,
There you
and they
go.
went left.
So you were talking before about what Colerain was doing on offense with that package and the fact that they were triple teaming on one sideline. Defensively, flip the coin. How do you defend that? How do you stop that?
You move an extra guy over there.
You just keep moving them over there?
Yeah, you match them hat for hat. Actually called an illegal shift.
The play doesn't even really count.
Be a 5-yard loss, taking it back to the 15. Still first down.
How do you defend that? You be better. That's how you defend it.
You beat your man one. You beat the guy that's trying to block you.
Gotcha.
You make sure those guys triple teaming you can't get it to the second level to block the linebackers coming over top.
So 3 wide receivers, 1 back.
First down and 10. Pressure put on by Jalen Thomas. And there is
He's going to mark the ball at the 1.
Did the ball come out at the 1?
No, he is marking his forward progress at the 1.
So Jalen Thomas came off of a linebacker blitz off the side.
Well, and
took
they
James
were
Horton
fine
all
with
the way
that.
to
They
the
were
end
letting
zone.
him in. They want the screen.
Right.
But the Cardinals are defending the screen, and Horton just does what he can. If you're the Cardinals, do you think about using timeouts? And that's exactly what they're doing. Cardinals are going to use – or who's using? Yeah, Cardinals are going to use timeouts here. They have the Vikings pinned 2nd and 29 from their own 1-yard line.
2-yard line.
1.5.
There you go. There's the half. Very deep. Very
Either
deep.
way, you're going to try to preserve this clock because you don't –
Yeah, totally agree. That's
I tell
the
you
right
what,
play call.
is that Coach Cutright out near the goal line talking to the referee? He wanted a safety on that. Contact was made near the goal line. And they're saying the forward progress kept it out there. He definitely landed in the end zone on his back.
Again, you can reach us at radio@wearecolerain.com or directly in the YouTube comments. This one, shout out to former Coach Schweitzer listening in.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Coach Schweitzer, is that your grandson or your son's screen name that you're knowing? Because I know, Coach Schweitzer, your first name is not Joey.
Brian, check out the shoes on 45 down
I
there.
saw that earlier. I told you. I saw the yellow shoes before. They should be outlawed.
They shouldn't. You let whatever kid can afford whatever he wants to wear.
So 3rd down and 29.
Second down.
Well,
Third.
There's a snap back. Jordan Horton gets out of it, and he's just going to run out of bounds.
And that is exactly what the Cardinals want because
not have
they
asked
get
me
to
better.
keep a timeout. I will notice the second ran off, but I'll let that go because we're
Yeah, absolutely.
Horton gets out of trouble, but you're right, gets out of bounds.
The Cardinals couldn't have asked for a better scenario. It's still 4th and long to go. Clock stops. You're going to force this team that struggled to punt all game to punt from their own end zone, and Pace is going to give you a short field.
Where do you think Pace is going to line up? Like right
35.
around 35?
Yeah, that leaves Colerain with 2 timeouts.
There's just one.
I think they just have
2.
one.
There's 2 on the board.
Well,
There's 2 on the board.
It says 2, but
Don't
We
trust
used
the
one.
board. Didn't I
We
say
used
that
one
earlier?
earlier.
I know that they only have one. Now, if they give them 2 more, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we're not
but
going to complain about that.
I'm just saying the scoreboard operator is a little behind.
Timeout, Princeton.
Well, that would take them down to 1 timeout remaining.
Allegedly.
They just want to get.
Supposedly.
I know their stud linebacker is hurt, and I don't know if they didn't have enough players on the field. They had a substitution for him. Actually, we just told timeout Colerain.
I know, but the referee initially signals Princeton.
Yeah, I think that was a Princeton timeout.
We'll just call it a timeout. Whoever gets charged to.
We'll find out. That's
find
what great when you're what we do. We sometimes get to sit, and we're in the middle of the press box here. Lots of Princeton players, the PA guy, you can hear him over us sometimes. So you get arguments with coaches. They get arguments with each other. Their spotters are trying to communicate. They're trying to communicate back and forth.
I think this is a first for us because normally we're usually next to this one of the set of coaches. I think this is the first time we're in between.
We're in between
The
the
scoreboard
spotter.
operators and the PA guy, and they're doing a great job. But
Yeah.
that's a different situation
Yep.
for us.
So there's Deshaun Pace lined up, as you said, right around the 35-yard line, snapping from the back of his end zone. It's a kick, and it's going to be caught by Deshaun Pace up close to the sideline, trying to look for some room. There's a flag coming in from the back judge. Deshaun Pace staying on his feet and gets taken out of bounds inside the 30.
Flag way down the field.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
As
I
it
would assume it was
holding on the coverage
Yeah,
team.
I no, I get that,
Initial?
but I assume it's holding. But
I don't know.
he didn't get down. I didn't see enough guys down there to
Yeah, this was near the line of scrimmage,
Let's-
thrown by the head judge.
Let's see what he calls. He's going to call holding.
Calling
Holding,
holding.
yeah.
Defensive holding.
It's just there was like 4 defenders and
He
one blocker.
Yeah, I think it might have been on the gunner on the outside.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, Brian, but that sure sounded good.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
that's
go
about
with it.
that's about where the area of the flag. As again, I'm making stuff up as I go along.
Usually what happens. Now what's interesting now the board says 2, we think they have 1.
No, it says 1. Oh, wait, no.
No, we're the team with 20 that
Oh, you're
says
right,
Colerain
right,
next
yeah,
to them.
It does say 2. We think it's 1.
I thought we only have 1. But we'll see. Is it Prather who comes out or the Cardinals stay with Freddie Johnson? Now, Prather's been more of the throwing quarterback for the Cardinals.
Or do you bring in?
Or do you confuse
Lawson
anyone?
Sandusky back at tailback again?
Or you go with no quarterback.
No, Freddie Johnson is right
oh,
there.
Freddie Johnson's going to be
okay.
running
Holy
out of the
moly,
shotgun.
guys. You guys are killing me. Okay. 2 wide receivers, both right and left. Freddie Johnson in the backfield. along with, and we get a number.
Tell you,
who is
slot
that?
Brandon
receiver's got a
Sinclair.
lot of room.
Number 18 is also back there. Williams. Freddie Johnson's got it. It's a pitch to Williams. He's going to take it. He's going to look for some room. Cut it to the field. Sheds one tackler. Gets it down to the 35-yard line. So about a 7-yard pickup on that first down. Again, the clock is going to continue to run.
1:15. I guess you guys can see it
to
at home. We don't need to tell you.
Yeah, we don't need to tell you. You can see it right there on the clock. Again, the Cardinals with 2 timeouts left on the board. So they've got time to put more points on the board.
They're
Maybe
going
give
deep.
Cameron
Isaiah
Knott.
Myers deep right here.
Let's see Freddie Johnson now
Monte
exclusively in the
Scales deep
shotgun.
right here.
There's a snap back. He drops back, looks to pass. Freddie Johnson's going to tuck it and run. Probably a mistake as he is swarmed under.
And his head came off.
Helmet.
And late flag comes in after the play.
He said his head came off. Thankfully, it was just his helmet.
There is a flag on the play.
So the clock stops. 52 seconds left to go. The Cardinals trying to find a way to maybe put some more points on the board before going to what has to be the longest first half in the history of high school football.
Yeah, Prather has come in the ball.
Well,
game.
Prather has to come into the ball game. Freddie Johnson's helmet came off. He can't be in this play, so it has to be Tyler Prather.
We assume it was just his
didn't
helmet.
say that.
Brandon thought it was his head.
just-
Yeah, it might be his head, but I'm just,
So what?
words. English is a complicated language.
Kudos to the referees here. They're taking their time. They're talking through it, making sure
Yeah.
they get the right
Giving
call.
us plenty of time
And this
to
is
call an
what we
offensive play
talked
and not
about.
use a timeout.
Sometimes,
It was post-play. There was a
Yeah, I
linebacker and an offensive lineman that
yeah, I
got
saw
kinda
Jones
tangled up.
kind of jawing from the Colerain side, or from the Colerain perspective, and he kind of backed off. Jaheim Thomas is thankfully
So we have a
Personal
personal
foul,
foul.
Princeton.
Personal foul,
Colerain.
offset. And a good sign for the Princeton Vikings, good sign for this football game.
Can I tell you something?
Jaheim Thomas walks back on the field.
That's crap. I hate that. The stupid
Well,
offsetting penalties. I hate
It's
that.
different because a lot of times you'll only get the guy that responds to the initial jawing that gets caught a lot of times.
So Tyler Prather in, 52 seconds to play. Second
Again,
and 4.
Freddie Johnson having to come out because he lost his helmet on that last play. So Tyler Prather, the junior quarterback backup, is coming into play.
Looks like Princeton has brought in an extra defensive back.
Sorry. Now we're not.
Wait, now
No,
they're
what
walking.
They have to.
They're marking it off, or what?
No,
are
they're marking the original line of scrimmage.
Okay. Well, we'll just let them finish doing whatever they're doing.
I thought
Ronald Williams Jr. again in
It's
the
a
backfield.
replay.
didn't they gain 6 yards on the first down?
I know, and it's first down again.
But they've placed the ball at the
Yeah,
original line of scrimmage,
that's
not
wrong.
at the yard marker where it should be.
Exactly. It should be all the way up here at the.
No,
at the
I think the referees are making it 1st and 10. They're replaying the whole down, which I don't think is
No, there was
correct.
a play before that
no, the,
where
no,
with the
personal
quarterback.
fouls happened after the play.
I know.
They ran-
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what they're. I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm telling you what they're doing.
The referees forgot a play. Now they got it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So now
They
the ball's
worked it
marked.
out. Just guys, relax sometimes.
Yeah, they were a little
No.
confused. So second down, ball is at the Colerain, or excuse me, at the Viking 35-yard line. Again, Tyler Prather now in a quarterback as Freddie Johnson did lose his helmet, so he'll have to sit out a play.
He knew where it was, just wasn't wearing it anymore.
That's true.
Clock is running. I didn't.
Plenty of time on the play clock.
No,
20
but
seconds.
it's the game clock's running down to 30 seconds.
There's a snap back. Tyler Prather's got it. Drops back. Looks to pass. Throws it, and there's pressure, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. One of those big defensive linemen's got their hand up and knocked the ball down. Pass falls incomplete, so the clock will stop. 3rd down and 5 for the Cardinals with 26 seconds left.
Yeah, they lost about 25 seconds on that. The play clock had stopped. But once they set the ball, the game clock started again. So they took a while to get that play off. They still have 2 timeouts.
Allegedly, I still think they only have 1.
We'll see.
You just can't be wrong, can you?
I'm not trying to be wrong. I'm just trying to be right.
So 3rd down and about 3.
Freddie Johnson back in, now in the shotgun once again. 4 is in motion. Freddie Johnson takes it, makes a man miss, stays on his feet and throws it in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Deshaun Pace. Kind of gunned that to him pretty hard. It went through his hand, so it's incomplete, but it's going to be 4th down.
Well, when well defended, he runs out there. If he keeps it, he gets about 4 yards. He's short. If Pace catches that, he's probably short also. So
That's a good spot for a fake, though.
you beat me to it again. Sandusky, as we know,
Or snap the ball right now. They got 13 guys on the field, but we only had 10. So
Don't do that.
don't do that. Well, you can have not
that a
enough.
penalty? I was
No,
gonna say, is
you
that a
can
penalty?
have not enough penalty
You
people
can snap with 9 guys. It's no big deal.
as long as you have enough on the line of scrimmage.
Right. Oh, there you go. Good point. So Lawson Sandusky standing almost at midfield, getting ready to receive the ball for a punt. Snap is back. He's got it. He's going to roll. He's actually looking to throw. Didn't like it, but he punted
He's
it
down
low.
right there.
Yep, and the referee's going to call him down right there.
We caught a break. Lawson Sandusky went back, and he was looking to throw it. He kept it himself, but he quick kicked it.
But that's the thing. Because he initially looked to pass, the entire Cardinal coverage team cannot go downfield. Most of the coverage team has to stay back.
But he kicked
make it
a line drive returnable kick, but the return man went down to one knee.
So what was the longest first quarter? It's turned into the longest last quarter. 4 minutes.
14 seconds left.
Still 14 seconds to play and a half.
Presumably, I can't imagine they're going to run a play here. Again, we ask you to hang with us here during halftime. We'll come back with about 5 minutes left on the scoreboard. We'll have first half stats as well as scores from around the city in Week 4 action.
So Colerain has two defenders all the way back to the 45-yard line. Horton's got the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he takes it and he hands it off to the big fullback who's got it and gets
nice
immediately tackled.
Thomas Boyd with the carry.
First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah,
Elijah Ford.
Elijah Ford with the tackle, and that'll do it. We'll go to the half here at Princeton High School, Mancuso Field. It's your Cardinals 20, the Vikings of Princeton 6. We'll be back at approximately the 5-minute mark on your scoreboard with first half stats and scores from around the city.
Tonight, we celebrate Band Night with over 300 students occupying the field. They represent the band program from grades 7 through 12. The 7th grade band, 8th grade band, and PCMS concert band are collectively under the direction of Mrs. Becky Brown. Mrs. Heather Hurley, and Mr. Todd Lenhart. Thanks also to instrumental music teachers Mr. Kyle Phillips, Mrs. Kristen Brown, Miss Leslie Schultz, Miss Cindy Casey, and Miss Marie Knieven. Middle school bands, take the field! Tonight we travel to a swamp in the forest of illusion outside the kingdom of far away to see what Shrek and his friends are up to. Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey are gonna make a move to a town that's right for me. Yes, it's Punky Town, conducted by PCMS 7th grade principal James Bauer. And look, our own Dr. Maxim, wait a minute, or is it Shrek, who will conduct the title tune of the original movie Shrek, All-Star. For our final number tonight, we will now feature our middle school bands under the direction of our superintendent, Mr. Thomas Burton, conducting the song that symbolizes Viking victory, Go Princeton Go! support of our program and our schools. Special thanks to PHS drum majors Jasmine Garcia, Nolan Gardner, and Cameron Thiessen for leading the band. We would also like to give a big thank you to the Princeton Board of Education and the Princeton Music Boosters for purchasing brand new uniforms for the pride of Princeton Marching Band. The two organizations shared the cost of our Stanbury uniforms, replacing our previous uniforms, which were purchased in 2009. Be sure to visit the Princeton Music Boosters concession stands for some great food. Support those who support our music programs. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Princeton Marching Band is led on the field by drum majors Nolan Gardner, Jasmine Garcia, and Cameron Thiessen. The band is directed by Kyle Phillips, assisted by Becky Brown and Todd Lenhart. The drill team is directed by Jennifer Kuhn. Also assisting the marching band is Leslie Schultz. For your halftime enjoyment, we proudly present Disney Showstoppers. And now for a trip to the happiest place on earth. What is your wish when you wish upon a star? Would you like to build a snowman? Let it go from the 2013 film Frozen. that was Bare Necessities from the Jungle Book. And now, we feature the Princeton Drill Team as Maui sings Simona, You're Welcome. Who needs a genie when you have a friend like me from Aladdin?
Ain't never had a friend, ain't never had a friend, ain't never had a friend like me. Ain't never had a friend, ain't never had a friend, ain't never had a friend like me.
And a surprise start to the halftime show. Brandon singing along with the Princeton band, doing a little tribute to cartoon music. Brandon, you got some scores
Cartoon.
around town?
That's your description of that? Cartoon music.
You threw me
that,
off.
That cartoon
We
music.
turned the mics on, and I hear you doing you're singing there, and you threw me off. I'm not on my game.
Do you mean Disney music?
Disney's for cartoons. All right, so let's go. Let's start off with the scores and stats. Colerain Cardinals leading at halftime at 22-6. Princeton with only 5 first downs to Colerain's 9. Princeton had 105 yards at the end of the first quarter. By the end of halftime, they only had 102, minus 3 yards. Colerain doing a good job on defense. Colerain has run 31 plays for 211 yards. Princeton 25 for 104. Time of possession, Colerain dominating 15 minutes to 9 minutes. Colerain has 2 sacks. Penalties, kind of both teams been bitten by the penalty, but Colerain was 6 for 45, and then 5 for Princeton for 36. Colerain has, each team has a turnover. Leading rushers for Colerain, MJ Flowers, your sophomore, 12 for 76. Freddie Johnson, 9 for 44. Abdul Wahid, 2 for 10. Jalen Thomas, 1 for 10. Receiving, Murray has 1 for 5. And Williams has 1 for 6. Princeton Vikings. This is really written weird. Princeton Vikings, Price has 3 carries for 20 yards. Horton, 11 for 7 yards. Boyd has
Horton only
1
has
for
7
2.
yards the whole game.
Rushing.
Oh my goodness.
Now, granted, he lost about 20 on that one play at the end of the half.
I know, but still, he's carried the ball how many times? Just 7?
11 times for 7 yards.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then he has 4 for 10 for 73 yards.
Chris, you can't interrupt him. He's having a lot of trouble reading
Well,
right now.
they've got both teams listed in the same thing. That's tough to read.
Rushing, passing, just figure it out.
Passing yards. Freddie Johnson's 1 for 3 for 5 yards. Lawson Sandusky, your leading passer, he came in a tailback position, completed 1 pass for 55 yards and a touchdown. He threw that pass to Isaiah Myers. for
A touchdown.
For a touchdown. For Princeton Vikings, it said Hortons is 4 for 10 for 73 yards.
55 on one play.
55 on one play. So really stepping it up. Your leading tacklers, Jalen Thomas has 4. Sean Pace has 3. Elijah Ford has 3. Harris for the Princeton Vikings has 7. Leroy Bowers has 6. And Jaheim Thomas with 5.
Leroy Bowers.
So Colerain will start the ball with the second half. They deferred. Brandon, you got some scores around town?
I do.
Well, why don't you read them?
Oh, okay, I will.
It doesn't do any good if you just have them.
Well, I mean, it does me good. Maybe not you. Field goal to start the second half. It is 9-7. Middletown leads East early in the third quarter. Elsewhere, Fairfield over Hamilton, 14-13. Hamilton scored a touchdown. Just 20 seconds left in the first half. 14-13 Indians over the Big Blue. Both 0-3 teams, Mason and Oak Hills. Mason leads the Highlanders 21-0. Elsewhere, Lakota West leads Sycamore 28-7 at halftime. Elders plays at St. Edwards, but that's not game until tomorrow. Winton Woods leads Moeller 34-0. LaSalle leads Dayton Dunbar 35-0. And at St. X, the St. Xavier Bombers trail Indianapolis Cathedral 24-17. Elsewhere, Week 1 opponent Wayne, they trail Springboro 28-0. Harrison leads Ross 21-10. Anderson trying to pull up the upset on top of Kings 21-14. Little Miami trails Mount Healthy 21-14. Edgewood over Northwest 7-0. Centerville over Miamisburg 28-0. Talawanda over New Richmond 20-6. East Central over Batesville 36-0. Dublin Kaufman leads Olentangy 7-0. Beechwood trails Covcats 28-3. Turpin over West Claremont 33-0. Withrow over Loveland 27-0. And Walnut Hills over Milford 21-7. All of those games at half.
As are we here at Princeton High School, where the Colerain Cardinals lead the Princeton Vikings 20-6, just under 3 minutes to go here in halftime. And boys, it was talked about it a little bit during the first half. It was a really strange kind of start to the game. It didn't feel like either team was really kind of on. There was obviously a lot of hype coming into this game for both of these teams to be playing each other. Again, it's a long, storied rivalry, I think, between these two teams, especially with their success in the conference. Of course, Princeton is stopped on their first series. They punt the ball to Colerain, and Colerain fumbles, loses the very first run of the game. They fumble the ball, and immediately Princeton hits a 55-yard touchdown pass, contested touchdown pass, to go up 6-0. And since then, it's really been all Cardinals. I mean, you mentioned it in the stats, Brian. Only 7 rushing yards for Jaden Horton, the quarterback, who has been doing a lot of quarterback keeps. And
one of the tops in the GMC rushing, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's definitely in top 5. There's no doubt about that. So he is. Look, the Colerain defense is doing what they do. They're doing what they have done every game coming into tonight. But the interesting thing is, coming into tonight, both of our defeated opponents, Wayne and Oak Hills, had not won a game. So I was curious, how good are we really? I mean, it's interesting because this was if we're able and fortunate enough to hold on and win this game, this will be the first team we beat that actually has won any other games. Oak Hills is losing tonight, and Wayne is getting creamed. So
St. X is losing.
St. X is losing. So it's just, again, it's one of those things where
are you? But
where do you stand?
But you look around. Who's the team that's supposed to challenge us outside of Princeton? It's Fairfield. They're struggling with a team that in Hamilton.
Well, yeah, a little bit of inside skinny there. I got a text from a friend of mine who's a Fairfield fan and booster. He's at the game, and he said that their defense is bailing them out, that their offense is atrocious. He said there's been multiple holding penalties, which, again, we always say you can call holding penalty on almost every play, but he said their offense looks just abysmal.
Even with the running back, was it?
Jaton McLean.
So
he's incredible, though.
But the Cardinals,
there's more balance in the city than there has been in a long time. There's not one team that you can say, watch out for them.
Some would say balance. Some would say not as good as a normal year.
I would say that this is a continuing trend because I feel like we felt this way last year too, right?
Well, I think we have a lot of top end talent last year, but there's a wide gap, I think, for the teams in between. Hey, we have a bunch of highly recruited kids this year, but there isn't a lot of kids around this area that are going to go to Miami or go to UC. There's the few kids that are high level, but really kind of top heavy outside of the 2 kids at Ohio State, the 2 kids here going to Ohio State.
Right, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see. The good news is the Cardinals are back out on the field. They're going to get ready to receive here in the second half.
So the Cardinals tried to play their best public enemy in the first half, trying to tell everyone to not believe the hype. Try to continue that trend here in the second half.
Yeah, the adjustment was made by Colerain in that second quarter just to block a little bit different. They overloaded the side, just decided to go power football and just wore out. And now Princeton's now had an entire half to get rested. We'll see where their mind's at. And Colerain just got to weather a storm here in the third quarter.
Well, we saw it late in the first half. They really wore down that front seven, especially that defensive line of the Vikings.
They're going to come out of the locker room with a little bit of extra fire. I'm sure Coach Daniels kind of lit into them. They've got the talent. They've just got to find it within them, and Colerain just got to keep doing what they're doing. And luckily, they do get the ball to start the half, and if they can get a long, sustained drive and just take the energy from this Princeton team.
Just as a reminder, we will be on the road again next week, back-to-back road games at Middletown to visit the Middies. So we are underway here in the second half. It's a pooch kick, and it is caught, fair caught, by number 18, Ronald Williams, at the 23-yard line.
And not a bad play. I mean, Williams probably could run, but if you're the up man, that's a smart thing to do. Live to play another day and another play. Just take the ball right where you fair caught it, and we'll take it. It might be deep, but the Cardinals would rather have possession than risk a fumble.
Absolutely.
Yeah, secure the ball. You're up there to block. You're actually, the return team on a kick that's that high is right on top of you. So if it's a low line drive kick and you can get it clean right away, yes, you might think of the return. But Colerain takes over. The ball's going to be spotted at their own 23-yard line.
The Cardinals continue with the trend of very tight splits and a very tight formations coming out here to start the second half.
They've gone back to the double wing.
Yep, Freddie Johnson under center. Ace Sharon Schwender got the ball ready to hike. Freddie Johnson backs out, gets the signs from the sideline. MJ Flowers directly behind him. So this is how they started the game.
Well, the other thing I just noticed here to start the second half is get the play go.
Freddie Johnson takes it, hands it off to MJ Flowers. He's got it. He's bowls through that line a little bit, breaks a couple tackles. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on first down.
And it'll be interesting to see how the referees and the teams handle it. It appears the play clocks are both out on both ends here at Viking Stadium. So I know the different rules here at the 40 seconds, so both teams are going to have to be paying attention to that back judge. I say that, and the Cardinals come directly to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he come directly to the line of scrimmage and change the play. I see Princeton Vikings, Jaheim Thomas hurt in the first half, is back in the game.
So there's again, once a handoff to MJ Flowers again. And he gets taken down right at the 31-yard line.
Need the 31.
31-yard line.
No. They need the 33.
Oh, they need a 33, yep. 33 or 34? I don't know.
Just randomly call out numbers.
7-12 blue.
48-yard line.
It's probably about third and red.
Third down and about 2.5.
2.5. That's great.
So Princeton makes adjustment.
Yep.
Overloads this left side. That's run right behind right guard.
Fake stop in motion. Freddie Johnson. It's a counter to Hamza Abdul-Wahid. And that's a great call. Looking to get into the open space, and he does. He gets it up to the 30.
That was not a good call. Just get the first down. I don't like that call. It worked.
Well, they overloaded the left side, and then they followed
That was not a good call. They got lucky. They're good blocking to get that off.
Okay, but isn't good blocking part of a good play?
But there was too much danger in that play. Just get the ball.
First down and 10 at the 35-yard line of the Cardinals. The clock is running. Freddie Johnson under center. Again, to your point, Brandon, just like in the first half, wear down this defensive line. Come out here and have a nice, long, sustained drive, hopefully ending in some points. Freddie Johnson under center, takes it, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, follows his lineman, number 79, through the hole. It's going to pick up about 3, maybe 2.5 on that play.
Yeah, Cameron Cardinals leads the way. Just a quick little quarterback draw. They're going to pick up about 2, almost 3 yards.
Yeah, tried a little counter play out of that. Quarterback steps the opposite way of the fullback. Try to catch the defense over pursuing. Good job to stay home. But Freddie Johnson squeezes forward and still picks up 3 to 4 yards.
Pace comes into the ball game.
Second down.
Single coverage. I like this matchup on the outside. What's this number on this defensive back? He's got 5 inches on him.
6, number 6.
He's very good.
That's Jaden Scarborough, listed at 5'8".
Number 19 in motion. There's a handoff. Good play by the Princeton defender. Let me get his number 11. Put his hands right on that tailback for the Cardinals, but still picked up positive yards at MJ Flowers.
And Juwan Jarrett, listed as a safety, is playing a little bit of outside linebacker right there. Good size for him. He's 6'2", 182 pounds.
Yeah, and he stayed home, made a good tackle. So 3rd down and 4. So another 3rd down for the Cardinals. Looking to try and get him to jump. They haven't fallen for that all night.
Still in the double wing.
Yep.
Aaron, 3rd down, man.
Freddie Johnson under center. Takes the ball, hands it off to MJ Flowers, and he's met by a host of Vikings defenders. Whistle is blown, and he does not pick up enough for the 1st down. And the Cardinals are going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, only got one on that play. Colerain comes out in the double wing this time. Gotten away from the oversized, you had some defensive linemen going both ways. You can't come out right away and do that. You're relying on your defense up 3 scores.
Are we not allowed to? I'm sorry. Are we not allowed to do the snap down anymore?
No, that is.
We haven't been able to do that for like 6, 7 years.
No, it hasn't been that long.
So
Yeah,
Lawson Sandusky's going to take it from about his 30.
I wonder if he kind of blew the opportunity to run a fake. It's a high punt. It was a low snap, skipped off the ground.
Get a bounce.
It does get a bounce, and it gets a huge Colerain bounce. Hits it about the 25-yard line and goes all the way down to the 12, which is where the Cardinals down at Deshaun Pace, and that's where the Vikings will start off. 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
It's the little things that happen in a football game that do well. You've got a punter who's probably one of the better athletes on the field.
Let's be clear. Lawson Sandusky's athleticism saved the Cardinals last year and led to a trip to the state championship game.
The punt over his
punt
head?
that should have been over his head by all means, the punt snap. He jumped up and got it, saved it, somehow got the punt away.
Yep. I don't know that it would have. I don't know that it would have made a difference in the outcome of the game, but it was important.
So 4 wide receivers for the Princeton Vikings at their own 12. Is that
Horton still 8?
I can't see the number.
I have to believe it is, but I can't see. And Horton throws it, caught by number 1 and immediately tackled. Number 10 on the tackle. That is Horton.
Sterling Burkholter with the catch. It's a little 5-yard hitch.
He's in there all the time. He does not come off the field on offense.
They threw a lot of this. He's just quick outs, little timing routes, little 5-yard out, throw it before he makes his turn. Colerain's just going to make them patient and not give up the big play. 2nd down and 5.
Snap is back to Horton. Drops back, looks to pass again. He's going to throw it deep down the middle to number 1, and it went on top of his head and out of bounds.
I tell you what,
No
that
catch.
was perfect coverage.
Sean Williamson kind of had good inside,
ran with him.
Inside position, ran with him, but what he did is he slowly backed him off the sideline. So even if he catches that, he's not in bounds. That's just great defense by Williamson.
Top to bottom, that was perfect. And really interesting that it's just a one-man route there, too. It's just a hitch and go. There's no other read, and that's the only throw that he's looking for.
Yeah, Williamson, a 6-foot junior.
So 3rd down and 5 now. 3-man rush for the Cardinals. There's a pass. Caught. It's probably going to be enough for the 1st down. Caught just past the 20. Caught out of the 23.
Depends on the spot. It's right at it.
He needed the 22.5, and, they're going to give him the 22.5.
They're not even going to measure it.
Yeah, we saw Wayne have a little bit of success, and even St. X. You got one-on-one on the outside. Your linebackers are dropping up, and there's a slight seam in there. It takes a very accurate pass. But they found that soft spot there and got exactly what they needed.
So 1st down and 10 for the Vikings. 7:08 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Cardinals up 20-6, nursing a 2-touchdown lead. They've scored 20 unanswered. Horton takes it, runs up the middle, tries to get some yards, and he's going to be met right at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward and pick up 2.
And that was all Horton to get to because he was met in the backfield. Dante Corleone right over top of Javon Neal, the center. And he just luckily got through Corleone's arm tackles for him, but Horton really had no space to run.
It's been a while since Colerain's had very much size up on the defensive line. And we're not monsters up there.
No.
We're 225, 220, and 285. That's big.
Yeah,
But,
but none of them are 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, we've never had 3. We've had 1, 2, but we've got a good size, and they're really doing a good job up the middle.
The offensive line has got a good push there.
Corleone again on the tackle.
Yeah. But again, 3 more yards picked up on that play. So nothing being broken. by this Viking defense, meaning they're not getting the big runs. But
Thomas Boyd's helmet comes off, so it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Vikings.
Corleone. 3rd down for the Vikings.
yeah, that was number 7. I don't have him in my
That's
depth
Thomas
chart
Boyd.
here. Boyd in a linebacker? Or no, in a running back, excuse
Yes.
me.
They try to draw Colerain off sides. They stay there.
Yep, doesn't work this time around.
Doesn't work for the 5th time.
The play clocks are back on. Snap it back. There's a handoff right over the middle. He's got it. Good push by that Princeton Viking offensive line, and he's going to have, I think,
Short.
He's short. He needed the 34
Yeah.
3-yard line. He's about the 32. But if you're Princeton Vikings,
James Price III.
You see a push happening here against this Colerain defensive front that maybe we didn't see in the first half?
they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 1. Inside their own 35-yard line. Princeton Vikings going for it on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, bringing
4th
in,
and 1.
Bringing in Boyd, the big back, and they're bringing in an extra tight end.
They're also
Tamir
bringing
Matthews.
in an extra tight end in Henry.
You got too many guys on the field? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They've got 12 guys on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They have 12 guys on the field. Am I counting wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There it is.
11.
12
There it
guys
is.
on the field.
There it is.
Was that timeout?
12 guys on the field.
12 guys on the field. They tried to go to a big package, and
That might even be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Just one too many, but unfortunately the rules say you can't do that.
And I'll tell you what, that takes a 4th and 1,
Makes it 4th and 6.
more than 4th and 6, and they're not going for it this deep and need 4th and 6.
Well, I mean, they still go for it.
They could, but they're not going to. As on comes the punting team. So that's a huge penalty against the Vikings, kind of another self-inflicted wound
And
here.
I always, any type of, I blamed Coach Cutright last week when Colerain had the back-to-back substitution penalty. Anything like that is, this deep into the season, you shouldn't have substitution issues.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because the way they were getting some push on the Colerain defensive front, I thought they were going to pick that up. But at 4th and 6, deep in your own territory, it's really a no-brainer. You punt the ball away.
Yeah, Pace is at his own 45.
Counting off his players to make sure that we've got the right number on the field. Snap is back. Punter's got it. He's got his foot on it. It's a very short punt. It's got a little bit of height to it. Fair catch called by Deshaun Pace, and he's got it.
I'll tell you what, it's a slow snap and it's very deliberate, but the Princeton Vikings do a very good job of protecting that punter. They know they have to hold out a little extra.
There's a late flag on the field, or I'm seeing another holding on the coverage team.
A holding on
On
us.
Colerain on the return team.
Well, that's really unfortunate because that's going to take the ball from the 44-yard line all the way down to the
34-yard.
34-yard line.
That's math.
That is math. That's the second holding penalty on special teams for the Cardinals. And dare I say, they may have more penalty yards than the Vikings, which certainly was not the case on average coming into this week.
Well, I think we might have more penalties, or they have more penalties, but I think we have more yards.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, at halftime,
They only had 36 yards in penalties, and we had like 65 or
yeah,
something?
we had 45 and 6 penalties, and they have 36 and 5.
Right, so it's pretty close.
Well, we're both wrong in every account.
Yeah, but this is a team that averaged like 170 yards in penalties the first 2 weeks of the season. Not combined.
What are the referees waiting
Not
on now?
combined. Individually.
The referees talking back and forth. They're looking to the sidelines. Now they're looking to the clock.
No, I don't.
Or
I don't know. They're trying to figure something out. It's all right. Like you said in the first half, they'll get it.
I think there's something. I don't think it's a personnel or something. I think it's something going on in one of the end zones. They're trying to.
Well, they turned the clocks off now.
All right, they're just going to turn the play clocks off and keep it on.
They turned that one off. This one they've still left on. One is off, one is on.
Who knows what's going on?
Who knows what's going on?
I don't
What I do
understand.
know, it is first
It's
down
fast.
for the Colerain at their own 34. Colerain back to the double wing.
4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. No score has happened here in the second half. It's 20 to 6
Princeton
Colerain.
really loading the box.
There's a pitch out to number 19, Murray. He's got it. He's into space. He's going to have enough for the first down. Plants his foot and is going to pick up 11. Out to the 45. We'll see. I think that's where they're going to mark him. 11-yard run for Shannon Murray.
First down, Cardinals. Now that play clock they left on was not running, and now they have turned it off.
Okay.
Play clocks will not be kept in the score book, board, press box, words, timer. They'll be kept by the back judge.
Failing me.
Back judge.
First down and 10 for Colerain, their own 45-yard line.
And Coach Rod on the sidelines either has a play signal or sees Angels in the outfield.
Good call. Hamza Abdul-Wahid in motion. Freddie Johnson takes it. Good pursuit by the Princeton defense. No gain on the play. Freddie Johnson spun out, tried to roll to his left, and there was just nothing there.
Does get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Second down.
See, that's a data reference. I don't know if these kids these days will get that.
Angels in the outfield? No, they won't.
Danny Glover.
It's all right as long as you get your own jokes. That's all that
Isn't
matters.
that George Joseph Gordon-Levitt too, right?
I never watched it. Not one of the baseball movies I would put near the top of my list.
Just one time.
I don't know what that means.
That's Little Giants.
I didn't see that one either. There we go. There's a
Jet
handoff
sweep.
to jet sweep to Jalen Thomas. He's got it. He's
Wow,
taking
he's
it
fast.
around. He's still on his feet. He's still on his feet. He's breaking tacklers, and he takes it into Princeton territory. First down, Cardinals. What a timely play call for the Cardinals on offense.
I tell you, Leroy Bowers, the safety, came flying up, and I go, wow, he can. Is he one of their big signees?
No.
Because
I don't think so.
At 6'2", 190 pounds, came flying up. He had him, but he didn't wrap him. Ran right through a little. That's one of our larger backs at wingback.
Yeah, why?
He almost.
Jalen Thomas should be touching the ball more on
Now
offense.
he plays defense.
I know.
Yeah,
We just don't have enough guys anymore.
Now,
the days of having 120 on the roster are gone.
Well, Murray has done a great job there at tailback.
Yes, he
He's
actually
also like
has.
150 pounds.
Right,
But
that's part of the challenge.
He gets loose.
Yeah, he does. There's a handoff to MJ Flowers right over the middle. Gets on his feet, but good defense by the Vikings.
Great
Flowers picks up 6 yards on that run.
Give credit to this offensive line. I just saw a big pancake by Aaron Schwender. It looks like they taken out the big defensive tackle and gone a little bit smaller. Nope, actually,
He's still there.
No, they just kinda
enough
moved
credit
him over.
doesn't be given to your tight end either.
94 came out, and
Brian Beavers is essentially playing tackle, and it's a role that Elijah Flowers played last year, playing that tight end that basically turned into an extra tackle.
Elijah Flowers?
Ford.
Elijah Ford, okay. It's like, who's Elijah Flowers?
Brian Beavers has stepped right into that role.
There you go. Getting good push by Darian Henry. There's a pass and a catch down to the 20, spin down to the 17-yard line. Another big play on second down.
I don't know why Jalen Thomas doesn't get the ball more.
You should give him the ball every time. He's averaging 15 yards a touch.
I'm
now, I tell you what, the maturity of Freddie there at quarterback is great. They go play action, and he had a man deep in single coverage and could have laid it up there, but saw the linebackers come up to attack the fullback, and it was a little high, but he threw it right where he needed to. It was a perfect read on that.
Now, granted, if he hits him in stride, he's probably running the end zone, but Freddie Johnson, give him some credit. He also has the Ohio State commit, Darian Henry, running right down onto him.
Exactly. So there goes Freddie Johnson. Spin's going to keep it himself, run it right back into the line. He's going to pick up positive yards, get it down near to the 12-yard line.
And they went back to that big boy package, and again, it's just a little spin. Opens up to the right, spins back to the left, follows that line, and he just finds the hole, finds a little seam, and he falls down for 4 yards.
Wow, I want to see from Colerain nothing cute right now.
No.
You got it up there. No counters, no fake pass. Let's run. That's 4 plays to get 10 yards.
I would like 4 plays to get 12 yards.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I'd like 1 play for a touchdown, but
right.
We just don't get. We got down there that one time. We ended up getting nothing to miss field goal because they tried for the pass on first down and then got a penalty.
Weak side.
Weak side. Princeton has shifted over to that big side.
Heavy load to the right side, and there runs the other way.
Oh, nice tackle.
Yeah, good tackle by the Princeton Vikings defense.
He should have kept it.
Yep.
Weak side.
MJ Flowers that tried to take it left.
Yeah, Princeton's made a little bit of adjustment there and shifted all the way. And as Brandon said, the weak side is over there. You've got one-on-one, and he does make the tackle. The Princeton and Viking safety would came up, but there's nobody accounting for the quarterback if he goes that way too.
So 3rd down and 6 now for the Cardinals. They can pick up a first down without having to score a touchdown as they're sitting on the, what yard line are they on? The 12-yard line.
12-yard.
So 6 yards to get a first down, 12 to score.
Back to the double wing, 1 wide receiver. How about just a fade here to the corner?
I'd love to see him go for it on 4th down if they don't get it, but I got a feeling another field goal is going to. There's a handoff to Shandon Murray. He's going to take it around corner, stops and tries to pick up enough, and he's going to be just short, maybe by a yard or two. So good play by the Vikings on defense, but Murray picks up quite a bit, and on comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, he got down to the 9, and what I like it, they moved the ball to right hash for a right-footed kicker.
Yep.
It's easier to pull the ball than push the ball. But he had, I don't know, if he keeps going outside, he might have a lane there. But as you said, if you see something, take it. And
That's a young man with
great
not a lot of varsity experience. He thinks he can stop. There's definitely a gap there for him to cut back to. But at the varsity level, that he's not going to have
gap
time.
closes quicker.
That gap from behind is going to close quickly.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up for Cameron Ott, and kick is good. So Cameron Ott true that time through, and with 6 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, the Cardinals have added 3 more. It is now Colerain 23, the Vikings 6.
You know, that's the drive we wanted coming out of the half right there.
Absolutely.
You consume time. You ate up clock. You wore them down. You took it out of that, and you take the spirit away from a team.
I mean,
now it's 3 scores.
That was half the quarter.
No, that was almost the whole quarter. 6 seconds left.
Yeah, no, but I meant the drive.
Well, I mean, there's 6 seconds left. That's more than half a quarter.
Yeah, Princeton did have a few plays in that.
Yeah, they did have a few plays.
But you watch the Princeton Vikings, the body language as they're walking off that field.
Yeah.
That defense is gassed. That
They're
defense
tired.
is dejected.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, sometimes your best defense is a capable offense, and right now the Vikings do not have a capable offense to move the ball against this defense.
And again, the referees have to tell the Princeton team to get their team on. They were really late with the special teams getting on there.
They were late getting on out of half. They're late getting on now.
We saw it in the one play, though. You make sure you get your personnel on there.
Yeah, and make sure you got the right number.
You've got 11.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go. They're good to go.
I don't care. Make the referees make you come out there.
Yeah, they're not in a rush. What rush are they in?
So Princeton is not really spread out to that right corner again like they had been.
So the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Cameron Ott addresses and gets his foot underneath it. And it's a high pooch again to the corner. And it's going to go out of bounds again.
I'll take it. No return.
It's so interesting, the fact that Cameron Ott has a very, very strong leg. But they just don't have him kick it straight to the end zone each time.
But we've seen this year, we haven't seen that big leg.
Can he?
We haven't
He
seen
hit a 56-yard field goal in the scrimmage.
But his kickoffs have not been going in the first couple games into the end zones.
Well, his kickoffs hasn't been going inbounds either when he doesn't try for the end zone. So,
but I'll take inside the 35. When you've got a team as dangerous as the return, and I believe they have a return for a touchdown this year, according to GMC stats.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Liam Clifford is not back there for the Princeton Vikings.
Yeah, no, I agree. To me, though, if you've got a kicker that can put it in the end zone, put it in every time.
Princeton at their own 35.
Yep, Jordan takes it, fakes the handoff, and he's going to try it. Going right back into the middle, and that's a delayed play, and he's not going to get any yards at all. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 5, Mike Bess. Now he's coming out of the game.
And no, that's the end of the quarter.
He just ran off. I thought he was like, oh, wait.
No, Bess was raising his hand, fourth quarter. Let's go.
Yep.
And after end of 3 quarters here at Pat Mancuso Field at Princeton High School, the Colerain Cardinals 23. The Princeton Vikings 6.
And we got a Colerain Cardinal down.
2 Colerain Cardinals down.
2.
Dante Corleone had to be carried off the field by his teammates.
Yeah, I don't know. That both of your defensive linemen that have gone both ways. That's Donovan Owens down too, and that's the area of it. Now he's cramping. So you got a full quarter to play, and your top 2 defensive linemen hobbled on that play. So any score updates, Brandon?
Score update.
The Mets are up 3-0 on the Cincinnati Reds.
Field goal by Chris Ott. Cameron Ott. Cardinals lead 23-6.
Chris Ott listening in Orlando, Florida. All right, Brandon, while you dig that
Lebanon
up.
and Beaver Creek are tied at 27. Fairfield 21, Hamilton 13. 35-7 Mason over Oak Hills. Lakota East pulls ahead. Middletown 14-9. St. X has tied it all up at 31 apiece.
31.
Hey, just been handed the third quarter stats. Colerain, 45 plays, 288 yards. Princeton, 32 plays, 122 yards.
Do the math. What was the difference in that third quarter? Take your halftime stats,
I don't know if I still have it.
subtract total plays.
Math is happening.
Where's it say? Figure it out.
See, I told you. Our stat guys do a great job of.
It's just a different program.
77 yards for Colerain and 20.
It's beginning of the fourth quarter, which means we need to start having the conversation about player of the game. I think there's an overwhelming favorite here.
Lawson Sandusky.
No, that was
big pass?
was
The
picking.
punter. He threw a touchdown pass.
Got a great dig up on the punt. And
Yeah?
long snapper.
Oh, who are you going to go with?
Mike Best has made some big plays.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike.
No,
Best.
no big defensive plays.
This is going to be interesting. We're going to
Corleone's had a great.
And he's back in. Who do you, Chris, let us know. You got to say something.
I just
Oh, you got a whole quarter. See if somebody else stands out, makes a big play. Or do you give it to Freddie Johnson?
MJ Flowers has had a big
MJ
game.
Flowers?
it's MJ Flowers, and it's not even close.
I would give it to Lawson Sandusky.
I would not. I'm sorry. I mean, Lawson's had a good game. Don't get me
How many
wrong.
tackles does Mike Best have?
I have no idea.
I'd give it to Ben Marshall.
I'm just telling you, MJ Flowers comes out, and as a sophomore in a hyped game, very first play from scrimmage, he fumbles the ball and has come back and been the offensive
Jalen
star.
Thomas has got a lot of yards.
Yep, there's a go. Looking to pass, Horton throws it across the middle, and it is caught and then immediately tackled by number 4, but not until a first down is made up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Colerain came on a blitz and picked it up. That was Brandon Sinclair making the tackle. Short up the 50. The ball's going to be spotted at the Viking 48.
Burkholz did a good job as the receiver to block off Sinclair, who had a beat on it.
All right, guys, they're moving quick here. Snap back when Jaden Horton's got it, looking at, throws it again, and it is incomplete. Incomplete pass. Number 22, Devontae Kiner there, immediately as the ball arrived to knock it loose. Second down and 10.
Yeah, just a quick little out. He sits down on a curl pattern. Great coverage. I mean, and good timing on that. You know, if he's a step late, he catches that. If he's a step early, it's pass interference.
If he's a half a step early, it's pass interference. You're right. But that was perfectly timed. So they want to go quick, does this offense, and which makes sense. Trailing 23-6, they need some scores.
3-score game.
Yep. So once again in the shotgun, and Jaden Horton drops back. Here comes the Colerain defense, pressure up the middle.
Sack!
He's going to get taken down for a sack.
Who's going to make him an offer he can't refuse? Dante Corleone.
That is a 5-yard loss on the play. It'll be third down and 15.
LT Johnson there on the snap. And I wasn't sure.
Elijah Ford came up on a blitz.
Was that Elijah that came up through the middle, kind of forced the pocket to collapse?
Now let me ask you a question. Third down and 15, do you send him again? Send the house?
You don't send the house, but you send one guy.
Just send one guy?
You defend the line to gain. You defend the sticks. Jalen Thomas is not.
Yep, 4 wide receivers out wide. Rushing 3, passes cross over the middle. It is caught, and it is a first down once again in that seam. And they convert on 3rd and 15 all the way down to the Colerain 39-yard line. That's a killer.
Yeah, no pressure by the defensive line. They only brought through 3, and they challenged the quarterback to make the play, and Horton does.
See, I think you send more that time. Force him to throw the ball quicker.
Yeah, he hasn't. Your defensive line has done a good job, and he hasn't shown that he can beat you every time, so I'll take that chance.
Still rushing 3 again. Good push. Jordan Horton keeps it, runs through the middle of the defense, makes several guys miss, gets it all the way down to the 27-yard line. Enough for another Viking first down.
That's what he does bad. When he's an athlete.
When the play breaks down.
Yeah, he's not a true quarterback. Will not play quarterback at the next level.
No, he will not.
Here comes. How about this substitution? Corleone comes out. Aaron Schwinder, your center,
comes in at nose tackle. Let's see how nasty
your
Aaron Schwinder
defensive
can get.
line has been going a lot of both ways.
There you go. There's a pass, and it is incomplete. Pass is incomplete, meant out in the flat. He was open, but was not a good throw.
Another substitution at tackle, Kawasi Jones coming in. They got a rotation going up front. Josh Ringer has been in a 4-man rotation. Now they're going with a 6-man rotation up front for the defensive line.
Well, they said, defensive line, you come in and play offense. The offensive line wants to come and play a little defense. Why not? It's team football here at Colerain. So second down and 10, ball spotted at the 27. Oh, and then they get
another offsides call.
Ace Aaron Schwinder on the outside, on the inside, and LT Johnson both jump. Your center jumps the center.
That's the 4th offsides call against the Cardinals tonight.
At least
the 4th. in one series back in the first quarter. I think had back-to-back offsides.
Wayne is
10
storming
yards.
back. It's now 28-14. What's 28-0?
Snap is to Horton. He's got it. It's finding some room. He's got some blockers. Stays on his feet. Goes airborne. Takes it down to about the 16-yard line. It'll be another first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, Sean Williamson on the tackle. See, when you don't get pressure on him, he can make you hurt.
That leads to a Viking first down.
So ball at the 15. Yep.
16.
Ball officially at the 16-yard line. MJ Horton takes it, rolls, throws it into the end zone, and it is incomplete.
No, he dropped it again.
That ball was tipped by the defender, and it went up, and trailing wide receiver almost makes a miraculous play.
Davante Kiner knocked it away, tipped it in the air, but there's another Viking receiver in the area. He dove and nearly made the play.
You know, with these Viking uniforms, I complained about them earlier. Now that they're even hotter and sweatier and darker, I can't see a single number on
No, you can't.
Well, you guys are old. You guys need your eyes checked.
So second down and 10.
MJ Horton still in the shotgun, 4 wide, exclusively going to those 4 wide. He's got one running back next to him on the side, coming in for extra blocking. Drops back, is going to decide to keep it and run. He's going to stay on his feet. He avoided 3 tacklers. Don't know how he did it. The Colerain defense cleaned it up, but not until he picked up at least 4 yards on that run. How did he get out of that in the backfield?
Well, here's what happened. Davante Corleone got pressure, got penetration, but he didn't really shed his blocker. He just pushed his man so far deep into him that he really couldn't get a full hand on him. Elijah Ford's doing his job. He's keeping contained, not letting Horton go out. And the linebackers come up and clean it up.
And that's what happens sometimes is you've got your hand on the guy and your other teammate comes in and knocks him out of your hand.
Timeout, Colerain.
Yeah,
And if you're the Cardinals, you'd rather him step up and get 2-3 yards than him run around the outside, scramble, and either run for even more, or when he's scrambling, he can look downfield and hit a big play.
Yeah, keep him in the pocket. Yeah, make him step up. You've got linebackers in the middle of the field, but you're absolutely correct. You get him in open space.
Again, thanks for tuning in to WeAreColerain.com's presentation of Colerain Cardinal football. Next week we'll be on the road again at traveling north to Middletown to take on and battle the Middies.
They got some magic up there.
Yeah, thanks for you guys listening online. We got Luke Bolden, Robert Bowling, Michael Fockey, Gary Schatz, Helly White, Earl Smith, Steve Yerkes. Hey, thanks for your support, guys.
I apologize if my father can't read and mispronounce any of your names.
Pirates.
Luke Bolden has a little excitement. His little brother Mitch Bolden threw his first varsity touchdown pass tonight for Dakota West.
How about that? Congratulations, Mitch.
So they come back. It's a third down conversion in field goal territory, but down 3 scores.
Yeah, it's 4 down territory here. No, now an empty backfield. MJ Horton's got it. Rolls, passes, complete. Caught at the 10. Tackle taken down inside the 5-yard line. Enough for another Viking first down.
That's a good read by a quarterback. Pace comes from the outside from his safety position. He throws the ball to where the guy left in the little area. Yep. But I tell you what, when you get the ball, this Colerain defense, you're getting yardage here, but they're making you pay. They are really hitting tonight.
So the Vikings now first and goal inside the 5-yard line.
They bring in the big back.
Mark it 4. Boyd's got it, and he just lowers his head and takes it right through the defense, and he's into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Wow, that is loud.
Thomas Boyd listed as 6'1", 230 pounds.
With that missed extra point, the Vikings will go for 2.
That was a bully run by Thomas Boyd, number 7.
And as we said earlier, that at halftime, the Princeton Vikings looked a little gassed. But with Colerain on that possession, their defensive line's looking a little gassed. So they need help from the offense this next series.
So tell me why is Boyd not back in there again on a 2-point conversion try? I mean, are you kidding me? They've got a – I don't understand. I mean, they're going to give it to Jordan and MJ Horton to see what he can do. He drops back, looks to pass, throws it into the end zone, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion.
We got a ball game, folks.
Makes it a 9-point ball game.
9:05 left to play. We're in the fourth quarter. Your Colerain Cardinals over the Princeton Vikings, 23-14. Is it a little too early, you guys think, for maybe an onside kick on this point?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Is it a little early for maybe Princeton to try an onside kick?
It's a good question.
Your defense is probably one of the best in the city, and you got the defensive line. Colerain's had success eating the clock up in that last drive.
No, I don't think it is too early. I don't think it's too early at all. I think when you're trying to slay the giant, when you're at home and you've got your home crowd behind you, and you're within
back.
9 points, you hold nothing back, and you go for it.
Can't hold nothing back now.
Can't hold nothing back now.
Attention, all spectators.
I mean, look, the run that Colerain has had in this conference is ridiculous. It defies all logic. I mean, we are not a school the size of Mason or Lakota West, and we don't have 140 kids on our roster every year. We're not an open enrollment school. To be able to win,
it's a district that's split in two with another high school. It's a district that's split into kids from LaSalle, got kids from X, got kids from Elder.
Right. I mean, it's ridiculous what they've managed to do over this period of time. But at the end of the day, they've done it. And if you're a team in the GMC and you're within striking distance of Colerain, as we sit here in the fourth quarter down by 9, normally most GMC games are in the bag by now. But this year is going to be a challenge for Colerain to go undefeated this year in this conference.
Yeah, Williamson and Jalen Thomas back to return for Colerain.
Yep, and they said no to the onside kick attempt, and there's a
kick
back to the 10.
Get a seam.
He's got a seam, made a man miss, made another man miss, made another man miss. He's on his feet all the way down to the Viking 40-yard line. Huge return for number 10 for the Colerain Cardinals.
Sean Williamson saw a seam and he hit it. Might have tried to cut it back one too many times, but does it enough to get it in Viking territory, and the Cardinals will start at the Viking 38-yard line.
That's a 52-yard return.
You know, Williamson, he came up big on defense, breaking up that one pass earlier, showing a little bit of speed right there.
You saw that opening, didn't you? Because you were all over it. Go find a seam.
He just got it.
All you need is one crease that was well blocked, and the pursuit just wasn't there. Sometimes when you got that hands team in, if you can match body for body, you're 15 yards farther to block the return team. So there's a lot more space to run, and he did the right thing. I hate guys that dance around. When you're returning the ball, you take it and shoot for a seam. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, you're hit. So 8:54 left to play.
Cardinals back in on offense now, looking to answer the Viking touchdown.
Let's get about 3 first downs here.
Cardinals adjustment. They spread out the.
Jalen Thomas in motion. Handoff over the middle to MJ Flower. Great blocking by the offensive line. MJ probably ran 4 yards before he was even touched.
Give credit to the offensive line, but also give credit to Coach Williams on the sidelines. That audible, not only did they audible the play, but you saw them. He audibled the formation, but not by moving any players around the edge. He moved the offensive linemen's gaps. You saw they all took kind of an extra step out and opened up some space, and Flowers takes the 4 yards.
That's going to take a little getting used to. Coach Williams. Second down.
He was Coach Williams at St. X.
I know, but we didn't call St. X games, so we never called him that.
We called his dad that when
he
was here.
Well, we just know him as Peanut. Under center, Freddie Johnson again. Hamza Abdul-Wahid takes a spits. It's a handoff around the side. He's got it down to the 25-yard line. He's going to have enough for the first down for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, just a little jet sweep inside handoff. He gets it on the outside. Princeton really committing to stop the fullback right there. And I tell you, when they have called that play, it's been blown up 1 or 2 times, but it's been rather successful getting outside with the defensive ends and linebackers crashing inside the tackles. Well blocked. I believe that was Elijah Ford out there again.
So first down and 10 for the Cardinals.
Beavers. Yeah.
No, Brian Beavers.
First
Isaiah
down.
Myers. Elijah Ford has not played offense today, except on the big boy package.
Ball rests on the 23-yard line. Again, tight formations. Jalen Thomas in motion. Flags. Whoops. Jalen Thomas moved and Hamza Abdul-Wahid both moved at the same time.
Yeah, something was off
there. You
there.
can't do that unless it's in Canada.
That's correct.
Actually, you can't even do that in Canada. You only have one guy in motion in Canada. But you can do it in an arena league, but those really don't exist anymore. Although former Colerain Cardinal Quentin Sims did win an Arena Bowl championship, he had 4 touchdowns for the Albany Firebirds as they won the Arena Bowl this year.
I don't even know how to respond. I mean, how do you respond to that? Right?
Hey, I got there somehow, didn't I?
That's impressive. I did not think you'd be able to make that link.
So
I didn't even in my mind know where I was going with that.
I think that's the case most of the time.
There's a 5-yard penalty, takes it back to the 38.
First down and 15 for the Cardinals.
And again, no play clocks on the field, so the Cardinals will have to, when they're running these audibles, wait for the back judge to raise his hand to indicate time running down.
There goes the hand. When does that hand go up? 10
5
seconds?
seconds.
5 seconds? Oh, there's a counter, and the Vikings smell it out immediately. Shannon Murray tackled for a huge loss.
Yeah, that play was dead before they even snapped the ball. They read that. There was 2 defenders right there. Either one could get credit with the tackle.
So that puts the Cardinals in a very precarious situation now. Second down and a country mile.
Yeah, you run the ball. Although you got Jalen Thomas in the slot with a big cushion. Just get him the ball. He got one-on-one with the safety, who has done a great job with tackling out there.
It's going to be MJ Flowers in motion. It's going to be a toss pitch to Murray.
That's the call from Brandon here in the booth.
I lied.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's a great read. I mean, they run short side here, and they go to run the option, and it's a good read to live to make another play. Freddie Johnson is just swarmed, and he looks to make the pitch, but there are 2 defenders there. So instead of making the pitch and possible turnover, he just eats it and take the loss.
Well, and that's another big loss because now the Cardinals are backed all the way up. I mean, they were in field goal territory. Now they're unquestionably out of it, and they're really in a place where probably not going to convert a first down here.
So they're back to the I formation, 2 wide receivers.
Lawson Sandusky not in the ballgame.
Under center, Freddie Johnson takes it to speed pitch to Shannon. He's going to try and find some room. And again, to your point earlier, Brandon, he thinks he can cut there and kind of go up, but at the varsity level, he's going to figure out real quick.
After the play.
It's going to be a first down.
Automatic first down.
It's not an automatic first down. It's just a 15-yard penalty.
But will that take him into field goal range?
It might take them in the field goal range.
Yeah, after the play, it was the big defensive end. I believe it was 14. Nope.
Dead ball, personal foul against Princeton. So it's not the NFL, it's not college. It's not an automatic first down. But that does possibly put you in the field goal range.
Yeah, I believe it was 11. Juwan Jarrett was blocked to the ground. The offensive lineman took him down as he got up, shoved the Colerain offensive lineman.
So that takes the ball all the way down to the 25-yard line, which certainly changes things.
How about that offense is still in there?
I'll tell you what, a field goal makes it what?
12?
26 makes it a 12. What's the difference between 12 and 9?
3.
I understand the actual difference in terms of numbers.
Oh, well, you were doing math
I'm
before,
talking
so
about the scores and the setups because obviously so far Princeton hasn't shown there any threat with a field goal.
Yeah, we've seen Cameron. They might just be running the clock down. It's like we've seen Cameron Ott kick one over 50 yards this year.
Yeah, that's exactly
Timeout.
what they were doing.
Cardinals run the clock down to 4:54 to play.
That is their second timeout of the half. They only have 1 remaining. Princeton has all 3.
Allegedly.
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That one we got right. So during this timeout, let's go ahead and take a minute and have a conversation about player of the game because we'll need to make that down there. I mean, does anyone have a strong? Remind me who last week it was Shannon Murray. Who were the first 2?
I think you've got one player with 2 touchdowns.
Deshaun Pace was the St. X game.
Hamza was the first.
And Hamza was the first one. So Hamza, Deshaun, I got to write this down. Can I borrow that pen, please? I just
it's not mine. You can have it.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he tried to steal my pen earlier. It's a good pen.
It is a nice pen.
No, not that one. The one he tried to steal earlier.
So we had in week 1, because I'm going to create an article for the website. It was Hamza. It's pronounced Hamza.
I know. I just like giving you a hard time.
I know. Week 2, it was Deshaun. And week 3,
Shannon Murray.
It was Shannon Murray.
So the offense stays out there. I thought they might go for a field goal right here. A little bit of confusion getting your personnel in.
Shotgun.
Oh, look at this one-on-one. We get a fade pattern here to the left.
That's what this play is going to be. Jalen Thomas.
Interesting. Freddie Johnson takes it. No, it's a pitch right here trying to get enough for the first down, and it's not going to come anywhere close to getting the first down.
Interesting play call. It was just kind of a screen. Run everyone deep, try to clear out underneath, and to no effect.
You know, I almost take a chance like that. Murray is a great athlete, and if he makes a guy miss, but you're asking for him to make 2 guys miss and get 12, 13 yards.
I don't understand that play call.
You had one-on-one with a 6'3" wide receiver with a 5'8" defensive back. It's fourth down. How about just a fade to the end zone? If it's incomplete.
How about the defense just makes a stop here?
Yeah. So 4:47 left to play. Colerain with a 9-point lead. Got to just stop the big play.
Still plenty of time left. Again, Princeton with all 3 of their timeouts.
This defensive line's got a little bit of rest, but they got to make a play here.
Yep. Snap is back to MJ Horton. He drops back. It's a screen pass. Incomplete.
No, he
did he
caught
catch it? Okay, he did catch it.
And that's a good. And Cardinals will take him catching it because he drops it, the clock stops. Him catching it, clock continues to run.
And he got tackled for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, Johnson makes a good read on that. He reads the screen, stays with his blocker, but stays behind him, sheds them, and makes him a tackle for a 2-yard loss. Good read by the defensive lineman.
There we go. Horton's got it again. Throws it across the middle. It is caught. Deshaun Pace there, and along with I believe that's number 8. Yep, number 8 in on the tackle.
I haven't called his name much. Is that
Xander Kendall?
Xander Kendall?
Yep.
He's been starting all year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He was almost our player of the game last week.
Taking it out to the 30-yard line. It is 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. Again, watch the middle here because they're very comfortable throwing it right there in the middle. And there it is, almost picked off. Elijah Ford got his hands on it. It was intended.
Elijah Ford almost picked it off.
Yep.
Devontae Kiner almost picked it off, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, they go a quick out, a hook pattern. Elijah Ford steps in the middle, just out of his reach. He tips it up, then the defensive back, they practice that little tip drill.
Yep.
Kiner was back there, and it tip drilled him too.
Now, Elijah Ford did a good job because they've just been hitting that little backside quick hitter.
Yep.
Pretty easily, and he steps right in the path of it. Now, if I'm the Princeton Vikings, I just run right, do that same play, but slip the running back right underneath where Ford was.
Gotcha. And
they're not going to do that here because they're not set up to do that. But that's what I would.
So it's 4th down. Snap is back to MJ Horton. He rolls to his left, looks to throw. He's going to tuck it and try and get the first down, he's going to be short. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Colerain Cardinals defense.
It doesn't matter. I think they're trying to figure out if it's a fumble or not, but it's not going to matter. But I think more importantly,
I think there's some players down.
Yeah, I think
heavy
that's
contact.
Let's see. Yep, that's Deshaun Pace that's got lying down on the ground. We can ill afford to lose him.
Well, they came out immediately like that, and I don't like to see that when your training staff acts that abruptly. So hopefully he's okay, but
he's moving his head from side to side. I think they're just doing a check. Maybe he got his thing or something. He's sitting right up.
okay.
Oh, God, that's so scary. There you go. He's fine. Walking off the field of his
own volition.
Well, that was a heavy. When he comes up from the safety, he delivers a blow.
Yeah, he does.
The quarterback Horton was just running and full tilt, hit each other, and he took the worst of it, but he makes the stop.
They are going to measure it.
Okay.
The referee doesn't have to grant a measurement. I mean, they haven't even stretched it yet, and he's short.
Yeah, he's
closer than what I thought he was. I thought he was a good solid 2 yards shy, but he's a full yard shy. So it'll be a turnover on downs for the Vikings. The Cardinals will take over with 3:45 left to go in the game.
Vikings do have all 3 timeouts left.
Yep.
But
Colerain will take over. First down.
Colerain takes over at the Princeton 33, 9-point lead.
Colerain has had some success, but it's really been the penalties so far tonight that have really shot them in the foot because, again, this offense is not geared for 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs to be able to convert.
It never has been.
Well, it's a game of attrition, too. This offensive line's got to be wearing out, too. There's a lot of contact. Princeton,
big boy package in.
Well, on Princeton's, they got 6 guys on the defensive line.
There's a handoff. MJ Flowers takes it up to about
Fake that and keep it himself and keep it going outside.
Deshaun Pace back in the game. Timeout, Vikings.
Well, I tell you what, you got to like this. When you're banged up, you see your coaching staff react like that. 2 plays later, you're back in the game. So,
yeah, to me, I'm thinking, really? Because maybe he could just sit out and not be back out there.
Well, football's, it's such a context.
Couple
sport.
score
Violent
updates.
collisions.
It was 28-7. It is now 28-21. Sycamore screaming back against Lakota West.
Holy moly.
Northmont leads Springfield 17-10. Another touchdown for Springboro. Now they lead Wayne after 3, 35-14. Halftime score was the final score, 34-0. Winton Woods over Moeller.
So they went to a running clock in the second half on Moeller.
What about those blue guys on North Bend?
That's St. X.
I'm sure they probably pulled away at this point.
Oh, no, they were behind.
They were losing.
I thought they were tied at 31.
No.
Did I miss? All right.
They are now up 41-31 in the fourth quarter.
Well, then they couldn't. Guys, goofballs.
I mean, they were losing 31-24.
So Colerain back on the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8. They've gone, the big boy package again.
See which way they go. Takes it and hands it off to Flowers once again.
Stay in bounds,
He takes
stay
it
in
around
bounds,
the end.
stay in bounds.
He's trying to stay in bounds, and they pushed him out of bounds, and there's a flag
That's going to be a holding.
way behind the play.
It was a big run for number 9, Flowers, but there is a flag.
And the first guy complaining about it is usually the guy that's guilty, Corleone, on the right side. Oh, now he's holding his hand up. I believe it was me, Coach.
What is Corleone doing in there?
He's
It's
the
the
big
big
boy
boy
package.
package.
Playing like a fullback tight end. I don't know what you refer to that. But
Yeah. That's just, again, it's
like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Bring that play back.
the penalties,
Keep that clock
unfortunately.
running.
Another play that gets run.
That's another play that gets run.
That's true. It's just
It's a rerun this second down. That's an extra, that's 5 plays to get the first down.
It's an extra 35 to 40 seconds you're running off the clock.
Exactly. Now the referees can't decide who owns what flag. I like that. Is this yours? No, it's not mine. You got yours.
Ah, yikes. These guys are killing me.
No, they're doing it. It's like
Doing a very
my
good
flag.
job.
Yeah, they just switched flags. See?
Is that what it was?
Yep.
You were right. They were like, well, I thought that was my flag. No, this one's your flag.
No, I got the beans. You got the corn.
God bless them. They have done a great job tonight.
I tell you what, Chris, you've never played football until
Nope.
you've been hit in the head with a
a
flag. Oh, it just metal shot or whatever it is. It just kind of rings in your head when it hits your helmet.
27-13, Fairfield over Hamilton.
That brings the ball all the way back to the 41-yard line. It's a spot foul. Colerain is gone. You know what? Colerain has
Same package, other way.
what Corleone is actually playing guard.
Sean Pace
You got one on
peels off in a one-on-one situation. Freddie Johnson takes it, rolls, looking to run that way. Sees nothing but Vikings in front of him, plants his
Stay in
foot.
bounds.
It's going to get down to the 40-yard line. And does he there's another flag.
That one was by Johnson.
Tell you, we see another more jawing at the end of the play.
That one's going to be on Aaron Swender.
Your captain makes a
Not
mental
smart play.
mistake.
The penalties, unfortunately, are the story of this game.
For both teams.
Yeah.
But again, that moves the thing back.
See, yeah, but it doesn't give you a down.
Yeah, it's post play.
I mean, how many times this game has it been second, third, and beyond 10 yards?
25? Probably a half dozen times at least.
More times than it hasn't.
Right. I mean, it's just
After the play,
ugly.
penalty was after the play.
Cardinals have it on their own 44. They need to get to the Vikings 24.
What is that, 3rd down and 36?
30.
Either way, they're staying with the same offense. I mean, this whole series has been shot.
It's eating clock.
Yep.
It ain't pretty, but it's eating clock.
It's a handoff to MJ Flowers. He's going to get about 2 yards.
Timeout Princeton. 2:56 to play.
Tackle made by number 12, John Harris.
That was an abomination of a series.
At 8 o'clock.
About a minute.
Not as much as we'd like it to.
Yeah, but you say that, Brandon. I'm Brian. Like the idea was, we're going to go out there and we're going to commit 4 penalties just to eat clock. I promise you, that was not their
it wasn't a
intent.
play, but
They want to score.
That's what happens. Oh, you want to score on every play.
Right, but that's my point, right? I mean, that was. I'm sure that Coach Williams and Coach Cutright were not at all happy with that offensive series.
We thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Or were they?
So you call your guys.
I don't know.
We ask the
I don't know. Coach Mike Daniels of the Princeton Vikings down there, of course, of long-term fame here in Cincinnati prep history, one of the best football players I've ever seen play. He was unbelievable. He was electric. He almost led a comeback at Colerain. I'll never forget it. It might have been his junior year.
Oh, his game here was unbelievable.
Yeah. I remember the game at Colerain where he must have been a junior, I guess. Then they ended up losing, and it was during the streak, right? But they ended up losing, I think, 33 35-34. I mean,
touchdown Hamilton's now 27-20.
So Sandusky's going to set up about his 30-yard line. Leroy Bowers at his own 20. Just get a good snap.
Snap is back. It is a good one, right to his hands.
Oh, he shanked it.
That was a bad punt.
What was he trying to do?
No
there?
pressure on that. He had plenty of time. It just kind of, normally he's rolling it out and does that pooch kick. He hit just a traditional kick right there. He walked straight ahead and kicked it, and it went straight out of bounds.
First down for the Vikings.
47.
Well, the good news is
3 plus 4. That's a 7-yard punt.
it's a
Kind of that'll hurt his average, but what gives Vikings good field position with 2:50 left.
they are down to one timeout, but they are down by 2 scores. So even a touchdown and the 2-point conversion is not enough.
What I'm surprised right now
game.
they've got Thomas Bird. I guess maybe as an extra protector for the quarterback.
Thomas
Bird.
Boyd.
That's holding right there.
Doesn't matter. Brandon Sinclair picks it off.
He's on his feet. He takes it back. Going to be tackled, but not until it's taken back into Viking territory inside the 45-yard line. First down Cardinals at the 44.
Yeah, Sinclair, a junior, 6'1", 180 pounds. I believe that's his first interception of the game. I was busy watching the takedown of Jalen Thomas in the Princeton backfield.
Jalen Thomas did exactly what Ivan Pace did to Paris Johnson at St. X last year.
Get low.
Paris Johnson, 6'8". Guess what? It's very hard for him to bend that low against a smaller rushing defender, and Jalen Thomas just gets under the pads and forces a hold by Paris Johnson. Fortunately for Colerain Cardinals, it doesn't matter. Sinclair steps up and makes the play over the middle.
I like guys like Jalen Thomas. He could be probably one of the better running backs in the city, but he also could be one of the best linebackers, defensive backs in the city. But he's unselfish. He'll play anywhere.
Yeah.
Interchangeable at any, and his versatility makes his team so much better.
So Sycamore's comeback falls just short. They got the ball back after a West fumble down 1 score, and their Hail Mary from the I don't know if it's you call it a Hail Mary, but one play from the 24-yard line falls short. And Lakota West defeats Sycamore 28-21.
Colerain back to the double wing formation.
Handoff over the middle. And I'll tell you what, credit the Vikings defense. They're not quitting. I mean, they're playing hard. They're tackling well.
Vikings used their last timeout.
I'm going to go ahead and pack up, fellas, let you take it home. Any argument with MJ Flowers, the player of the game?
I would pick.
No, because nothing's going to change, really, if any other player gets a touchdown.
What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah.
I got no one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying no. Like I got one. I don't have like a pick that stands out.
Yeah, there's not one. I mean, this was a team victory.
I would pick the entire defense.
Okay. Well, we don't have that many T-shirts. Okay.
We can just have one really big T-shirt.
Yeah, get them all into one T-shirt.
And that's why I'm signing
player
off.
of the game blanket.
2:32 to play. Princeton Vikings have no timeouts remaining.
Chris hates us.
You guys, no, I don't. I love you guys. You guys.
We do have one streak ending tonight. Withrow snaps its 15-game conference losing streak. Beat Loveland 39-0.
Outstanding. Bring us home, boys. See you
All right.
time next week.
See you next week.
So as Princeton burns up their final timeout, Colerain has the ball. Second down and about 8.
Call it 7.5.
Second down and 8. Ball spotted at the Princeton 38. But that doesn't matter. There's 2:32 left to play.
Tight formation, double tight for the Cardinals. Keeper Freddie Johnson follows, and the first time we really saw that tonight where they went against the motion, Jalen Thomas comes down and then slams back up, and Freddie Johnson follows him. But
I'll tell you, watching this offensive line and defensive line both get up after that play, this has been a battle up front.
3rd and 3 for the Colerain Cardinals. First down here could end the game. Cardinals do a false count.
Close.
Nearly got Princeton to jump. God, if you slip the tight end out right here.
Yeah.
Cardinals look to the sidelines. They're going to run this clock. Now they're going to run the play as the up.
They're going to use a timeout? Yep.
So with 1:43 to play here at Princeton High School, Cardinals use a timeout.
You talk about leaking the tight end out right there. Did you see?
You don't leak the timeout at all. Or tight
leak
end at all.
the
You just run the ball.
Well, yeah.
Run the clock because you're up 2 scores.
Oh, exactly. But I think Freddie saw something too. He looked at the coach and pointed towards the safety, almost.
No, he pointed to the back judge putting his hands up. That's what they call a timeout. As again here in the second half, the referees decided to turn off the play clocks and keep it themselves. And again, in Ohio High School, at the 10-second mark of that play clock, the back judge puts his hand in the air.
Once again, as the conclusion of the game, we'd like everyone to leave the stadium.
I'd like to give a special thanks to the people here at Princeton High School. Gave us a spot to broadcast. We couldn't do anything at an away game without the host allowing us to do what we do. And special thanks here. Really didn't do much tonight. Actually, everything worked. So our technician Mike Rourke.
So 2 tights, wings on each side. Hamza Abdul-Wahid in motion. Handoff.
First down.
MJ Flowers picks up the first down, and the Cardinals can take a knee.
Yeah, good push from the left side. Again, that's Zach Stegemuller, Dalen Pert, Ace Aaron Schwetter, Cameron Karn, Elijah Malik, Elijah Ford, and Brian Beavers. Give credit to this offensive line.
MJ Flowers drops back about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and the Cardinals are in victory formation.
Yeah, out of timeouts. Princeton can't stop the clock, so take a couple knees and let's go home, folks.
Probably will have to take 2 knees.
Again, give credit to this defense from the Colerain Cardinals. The one big play in the first half and the short field drive is pretty much all Princeton had.
So the Princeton Vikings put a scare in the Colerain Cardinals early. They score in the first under less than 2 minutes in the ballgame. The Colerain Cardinals score 20 answered and are going to hold on here 23-14. They'll have to take one more knee.
The GMC streak is intact. So they line up under center victory formation. And Colerain goes off sides one more time.
Well, if the Cardinals had a story tonight, it was their penalties. And why not end on one more penalty? So with 22 seconds remaining, the Cardinals lose another 5 yards to penalties.
I believe that's Brian Beavers, tight end. Ball was snapped. Knee is down.
And that will do it. Cardinals will not have to run another play to the final at Princeton Vikings Stadium, Pat Mancuso Field. It will be the Colerain Cardinals victorious over the Princeton Vikings, 23-14. For Mike Rourke, our engineer, for Chris Simonitis, Brian Wyatt, and Brandon Wyatt, this has been Colerain Cardinal football on WeAreColerain.com. It's presented by the Colerain Boosters. We invite you to listen next week as the Cardinals on the road again against the Middletown Middies at Barnett Stadium. Again, Cardinals win final 23-14 over the Vikings. We are Colerain.com.